Restaurant is celebrating 50 years of serving Savannah, offering these delicious, money-saving takeout specials.
20-piece hand-breaded chicken finger basket for only $19.75. 12 pieces fried or rotisserie chicken for only $19.75. And feed a large group quick with our 50-piece fried or rotisserie chicken for just $50.
Call ahead for faster service or order online at barnesrestaurant.com.
After an amazing win last week down in the swamps of Waycross, the Cadets have returned home tonight for the region home opener. It's homecoming tonight at Memorial Stadium as well, and the Cadets welcome in the Demons of Warner Robbins. Exercised some Demons last weekend against the Ware County Gators, Christian, and now a team that maybe got some scared into them in Wayne County, beating Warner Robbins last week. So very interesting dynamic in this ball game tonight. A wounded Warner Robbins team coming in at 3-3. Benedictine back above the 500 mark with a big win last week. Control their destiny in the region. I know there'll be some eyeballs watching Wayne and Perry, depending on how that one goes tonight, how it shapes up things for the region. But what a statement last week for BC. Now they come back against a team they went toe-to-toe with in Warner Robbins, got a big win last year. Going to have to line up and do it again this week.
100%, Kevin, and you mentioned it. This is a tale of focus for both of these teams. Which version of these teams are you going to get? For Warner Robbins last week, it was almost an inexplicable loss to Wayne County. Wayne County had done nothing this season. It was a program in turmoil. They were 0-5. They had parted ways with their coach, and then coming off of that, Warner Robbins coming to town, and Wayne County put it on the Demons there in Jessup. So do you get the Warner Robbins that, man, maybe we just pack it in and we already lost to Wayne, maybe we're not going to beat anybody else and there's no way we're making the playoffs? Or do you get a team that kind of bites back and fights for their region life here tonight? And then for BC, such an emotional win last week against Ware County. It was kind of polled as the game of the week in the state, and it was circled certainly before the season for both of those teams. You go down big. There's a couple of moments in there where you felt like, hey, if Ware County makes just one more play, that might be too big of a hole for BC to climb out of. But the Cadets just keep banging their heads against the wall until they break through, and they come out of there with a huge win. Do you get sitting on our laurels, hey, this team lost to Wayne County last week, Benedictine, or do you get playing in front of a homecoming crowd, one of your only 3 guaranteed home games this year, put on a show, Cadets? That's what I think is going to be the story tonight.
I am Kevin Thomas. He is Christian Goeckel. Good to have you along here on a beautiful Friday evening. This is the Barnes Restaurant pregame show. And again, Christian, talk about that weather. A lot of talk about potential hurricane earlier in the week. That stayed, thankfully, way offshore. But we got a little bit of that wind blowing tonight, all swirling around here. But after a little clouds this morning, it is a picturesque night here at Memorial Stadium. As you mentioned, probably the first true Friday night under the lights where it will be dark at kickoff. So a good sign there. And again, this starting to feel like mid to late season football with a little bit cooler temperature. And now you're in region play with that push down the stretch.
Yeah, just absolutely perfect temperature wise. I think the kickers probably not necessarily loving the wind right now, and it's kind of blowing right in our faces, Kevin. So I guess for them, right to left or left to right across the field. But I mean, I don't think you could ask for really a better night to play football. I don't think we should have quite as many cramps as we saw early in the season. And just looking in the sky, there's some clouds in the distance, but they don't look like the kind that carry the precipitation like we saw last week at Ware, where it was just kind of drizzling on you all night. So, I mean, everything's on the table tonight because it is perfect.
Yeah, wonderful weather tonight here for football game. Let's start first, obviously, with just some overarching things. For BC, you beat Ware. A lot of people said, hey, you guys 1-2 for whatever that's worth. We think you two are the best 2 teams in the region right now. You go to their place, you get a big win. That kind of sets you up to control your own destiny. And I think a mark of Danny Britt's teams is they get better as the season goes on. Some of that you can say, well, record-wise, they play really tough teams early to prepare them for that region schedule. 2, I think they also just start playing better. Offensive line took a big step forward last week, and this is a team that you feel like coming down the stretch here is really starting to come into their own.
And think about this stretch this year versus last year. Last year, you're coming off of losing your starting quarterback for what you thought was going to be the season and having to turn to Amari Burris, who ends up winning you a couple of playoff games. But you lose your starting quarterback in Stephen Cannon. you get blown out in the second half against Ware County, come back the next week in Amari's first start and have a win taken away from you just off a couple of mistakes against a really, really good Perry team. So it's a chance for you to almost do a 180 here with the narrative. And last year, those two losses ended up costing you because you're the 3 seed coming out of the region and you were on the road. And I think eventually that wore BC down. Was it the 3rd road trip of the year back up to Atlanta when you had to take on Blessed Trinity, which just ended up being a little bit too much for the Cadets. So tonight you are playing to put yourself firmly in the driver's seat to win the region and almost certainly guarantee yourself at least one home playoff game.
And again, Warner Robbins on the overview here, Christian, one of the top 5 winningest programs in the history of the state of Georgia high school football. You start talking about programs, everybody knows Valdosta. They are not far behind in terms of total wins in program history. Last year, really stacked football team, a lot of talent there. This year, I think, suffering from missing a couple of those guys from a talent standpoint, trying to find their way. And last week, what we've talked about a lot with BC, special teams mistakes really tore them apart against Wayne County.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing to kind of circle for them tonight, Kevin, is what really bit them last week at Wayne, which is just the inability to snap the football. They were the center on the quarterback shotgun. Ball was over the head or skipping back to him, and then really struggled in the punting game, getting the ball back on a long snap. So it just kind of throws you out of a rhythm when you're a shotgun-based offense and the snaps are kind of light, low. Quarterback can't just keep his eyes up and know that a ball is going to hit him almost in the belly button. They're just having to track the football and then get his eyes back on. And just even watching in warm-ups, Kevin, they cycled 4 or 5 guys through on the long snaps, just trying to find, I guess, the hot hand there for the long snaps. And then with the shotgun snaps here, just in run-throughs, they've been kind of soft. Quarterback has to wait for him. And even if you're doing a run play, that kind of throws off the running back because the running back has steps that he's going to take the football out of the quarterback's hands. And when you're having to wait for that ball to get there, it kind of throws everything off a little bit. So that's what bit you last week against Wayne. Do you have it corrected enough? Because, this is a heck of a test against a really, really good front 7 for BC and just overall an excellent defense.
Certainly, we are counting you down here to kick off on the Barnes pregame show homecoming here at Memorial Stadium. Barnes Restaurant celebrating 50 years of service to the Savannah community. And they want you to check out all their 50-year specials. 50 pieces of chicken, $50. 50 chicken fingers, which I think Christian could do by himself. $50. 5 pounds of pulled pork, $50. Let them handle your tailgate needs. There's a big tailgate going on across the way. Let Barnes handle that for you. Give them a shout, barnesrestaurant.com as well, and let them set up your next tailgate feast. This is the Barnes Restaurant pregame show. We're coming right back here on Watch BC Sports.
I'm Kenny Granger from Cash and Carry. We're a family-owned business right here in Savannah. We have sections of vehicles that really make it all simple. You'll get a printout of where the vehicle's at, the color of the vehicle. We really want them to be able to come in the yard and find out right where they need to be. The average savings would be at least 70, 80, could be even 90% compared to original manufactured parts. So you can come to a place like Cash and Carry and find the parts that you need at an extremely reasonable price. We'd love for you to come check us out.
Criminal defense, family law, DUI, and divorce. You need representation. The one to call is Savannah's own Jonathan V. Dunn, PC, attorney at law. Voted a Thomas and Reuters super lawyer consecutively since 2023. Online at jvdattorney.com. BC Brothers Moving is Savannah's most trusted moving service. From residential to commercial to packing supplies, BC Brothers does it all. Let BC Brothers' energetic, trustworthy team wrap it, pack it, and move it for you. Check out BC Brothers online at bcbrothersmoving.com or give them a like on Facebook. As the world's largest lifestyle retailer of recreational boats and yachts, MarineMax is dedicated to connecting people with life-changing experiences on the water. More than just a boat retailer, MarineMax offers a complete range of services. 3518 Old Tybee Road, Thunderbolt, and online at marinemax.com.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium, Barnes Restaurant pregame show. Kevin Thomas, Christian Goeckel here with you as the Cadets getting ready to take on the Warner Robbins Demons Christian, let's look at the keys tonight for BC. Obviously, we've gotten into region play, and we've seen this the last couple of years. They kind of change availability, usability of the roster once you get into region play, i.e., we saw Stephen Cannon run the ball a little bit more, and we might see that happen. We see some guys start to get involved both sides of the football, maybe a little bit more. We see special packages. We saw LaDamian Guyton take a shotgun snap and run it, stuff we don't see. Typically, you start seeing the later it gets. What do you think we'll see from BC tonight?
Yeah, it's been interesting. Really coming off the bye week, starting with Westminster and then going last week into Ware County, you've seen some different wrinkles going single back, under center, pulling the near side guard, just different little wrinkles. And then last week, you see I don't even know. We got to come up with a name for it, Kevin. But the bulk package is being kind. You have Isaac Scott, Cam Cody in there on offense, snapping the football to Damien Guyton, who goes about 230. And so you just have about 2 tons of meat on the field trying to push forward. And so just curious to see what kind of wrinkles they add here tonight. And honestly, Kevin, at this point of the season, coming off of that bye week, you're adding those wrinkles in, kind of seeing what sticks, and then really trying to make sure that's the stuff that you can use going forward into the season. So I'm sure you'll see a couple of new things from AJ to Phillips, but the thing I'm watching for, as you mentioned it, Stephen Cannon with his legs. The last couple of weeks, I thought he's done a really nice job of, instead of trying to escape backwards out of the pocket, kind of trusting his guys up the middle, sliding up in the pocket. And then from there, we saw a really great pass in the red zone to Aaron Mallard, who set up a score on the next play. And then we saw a couple of times where Stephen Cannon stepped up, saw nothing was there, took off, shook some defenders out of their shoes, and was able to pick up big gains. I think it was either the first or the second series last week against Ware, where it was about 3rd and 16, and he stepped up. They lost contain, and he showed off his speed, was able to pick up a first down on that one. So I would expect probably 2 or 3 called run plays from Stephen Cannon, but he'll probably end up carrying the football 7-8 times just on some scrambles.
Certainly, and again, on the other side of the ball, Christian, defensively, you sit back and you just look at the scores. That is not indicative to me of how well that defense has played. You look at last week and just the way the ball game played out. Yet again, I think there's been one every week, but the Burke County game, and the defense held in Burke County, but there has been a short yardage score given up in every game but Burke County, where it's probably 20 or in, 15 or in. Last week it was 5 and in. So you give up a 5-yard drive and a kick return for a touchdown. You take those off the board. The defense played phenomenal football last week, and I think sometimes you look at the scores and say, the defense has maybe been underwhelming. No, I think the defense outside of Buford, which was just simply, had a lot of grown men, and you got worn down in that game because the offense
played about 50 minutes of football
because the offense could not get you off the field. This defense, to me, by and large, has played phenomenal football. They've given up a short yardage touchdown every single game except Burke, including in the scrimmage. But outside of that, I mean, they have played lights out.
Yeah, and it's a lot of thankless stuff that's really happening there, Kevin, where it's linebackers filling the correct gap. They might not be the ones who make the play, but it forces the ball outside to a safety who ends up making the tackle. It's Isaac Scott, Cam Cody, and Gavin Smith just eating up linemen and letting those linebackers flow. So they're doing the stuff you have to do right at a very high level, but then also you just have the talent there as well, where Cam Cody, we've talked about over and over again, you don't just get offered a defensive line scholarship to Clemson. You have to be something pretty special, because for the most part, those guys end up playing on Sundays. And then obviously the number 1 overall player in the 2027 class, and LaDamian Guyton. I mean, he doesn't have, I think he's got 2 sacks on the season, and none of them have been like the highlight reel sacks so far. But if you watch every single snap, the other coaches know what's happening, because you can make a good living betting on which way the football is going to go, and typically it's away from Guyton. So it's been unbelievable to watch, but I think they've really come into their own as a unit with Mai Williams back and Wyatt Esterbrook back from injuries. That, I think, has kind of solidified things. Now you have JoJo Sutton back, so you got 3 corners. You feel really comfortable rotating in with him, Amari Burse, and Jonathan Black. I mean, this unit is unbelievable.
It certainly is, and again, I think a lot of times you'll say, well, man, they've been in a lot of close games and maybe given up more. I think they've played phenomenal football, and to me, as you said, it starts no further than they play a 3-man front, but it's been 4 guys winning. And again, you sit back and watch tape. And Christian, I know you are a guy who notices a lot of things on the lines of scrimmage first, just from your time playing and watching football. Jameer Lee, all 4 of those guys, Gavin Smith, Isaac Scott, they are winning. And not just 1 or 2 battles. A lot of times they're winning 3 or 4 battles along that defensive front and just being disruptive, and man, they have been phenomenal, setting the tone for the back, the back 8 guys at that point, moving forward.
And when you see those guys play football, again, it's really been Gavin Smith, Cam Cody, and Isaac Scott with Jameer Lee kind of as the sixth man, quote unquote, from basketball, where he's not starting, but he's playing a whole lot of snaps. And it's that flat back. They snap the football, and you just see those guys flat back, and they're not going backwards. And a lot of times they're pushing forward. They are the catalyst that kind of sets the tone for this defense.
We are coming to you from Memorial Stadium, counting it down towards kickoff between Benedictine and Warner Robbins. This is the Barnes Restaurant pregame show here on Watch BC Sports.
Barnes Restaurant is celebrating 50 years of serving Savannah, offering these delicious, money-saving takeout specials.
20-piece hand-breaded chicken finger basket for only $19.75. 12 pieces fried or rotisserie chicken for only $19.75. And feed a large group quick with our 50-piece fried or rotisserie chicken for just $50.
Call ahead for faster service or order online at barnesrestaurant.com.
Plan your hunting getaway and escape to experience the beauty of Mossy Pond. Our diverse property right here in Pierce County allows you to enjoy various types of hunts, including plantation-style quail, hog, pheasant, and flooded timber-style duck hunts, all within 24 hours. At the center of it all, experience scenic, rustic, beautiful, and inviting amenities like luxury lodging, our first-class pro shop, fine dining, and the perfect event space. Book now and see why Mossy Pond Lodge is Georgia's premier hunting paradise.
Cool Vibes Pizza and Wings is one of Savannah's most popular. Could be the New York style pizza, or the pasta, or sandwiches, or wings. Whatever you choose, Cool Vibes has their own unique style. Check them out at 4501 Montgomery Street, Savannah.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Bernard Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
Cash and Carry wants to buy your car. New, used, running or not. Miles don't matter. We pay cash on the spot. Fast, easy, and hassle-free. Call today. Cash and Carry, where your car turns into cash.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. Thomas, Christian Goeckel, as we get you ready for BC and Warner Robbins. The Demons, again, as we look over there on that side of the football, Christian, kind of what we see a lot of teams run. Shotgun, spread, read kind of stuff, which a lot of teams, especially teams that maybe don't have quarterback, hey, we can start with read and run, and they do that, and they've done that pretty well.
Right, and it's a team that's going to play a spread offense, and they actually throw the football more than they run it, but a lot of it's just an extension of the run game. So just very traditional spread kind of style. You're going to see 2 wide receivers on each side. Every now and then swap one of those guys out for a tight end, but it's going to be very fast, and I think probably the toughest test so far this year for the secondary, just in terms of eye discipline, because, again, wasn't overly productive last week, but they have guys who can score a touchdown every time they touch the football all over the field. Great athletes and just really sudden kind of pass catchers where, again, they catch it and you miss a tackle, that might be 6.
Certainly defensively, Warner Robbins always known for great defense. Last week, they were kind of put in a tough spot like we talked about with BC. What are we looking for out of the Demons here tonight?
If I'm them, you have to stop Stanley Smart first, because BC has shown the propensity of being able to come out and run the football, whether at home or on the road. And Stanley Smart last week, 21 carries, about 78 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's really been the thing that's kind of stirred the drink so far for the Cadets. I think Warner Robbins, if they trust it, have the athletes to challenge BC on the outside with BC's really talented wide receiving core. But you just can't let Benedictine pick up 5, 6, 7 yards of carry. And that's what happened last week, was where they were trying to stop Bubba Frasier. You're trying to stop Aaron Mallard. Stanley Smart, cool, 6, 7 yards at a time.
Yeah, and again, I think tonight's going to be interesting. One aspect we haven't talked about for either team other than the snap issues they had last week, and that's special teams. Parker Lewis had a big field goal against Ware. We got about 30 miles an hour more wind tonight, and it's blowing all over the place. I look across the way. I have 3 flags pointed at me, a couple of flags pointed northward, just kind of getting that swirling wind of those outer bands from that hurricane way out there in the Atlantic. So no real sense of which way it could be blowing, how it's blowing, but it is blowing. And we are a little higher up, obviously, than field level, but they'll probably feel it a little bit in the kicking game. Can we put it where we want it? Can we get it where we want it without the wind affecting it? And as you said, a lightly kicked ball might be affected a lot by this wind once it gets up there.
Yeah, and I think kickoff's probably where it's going to affect the most. And BC has gone with a lot of directional kicks this year just because don't necessarily have the ability to get it to the end zone every single time. So curious what the strategy is, because last week it was great field position every single time for Ware County off kick returns. Curious to see if they made some changes with personnel, but also with strategy. Danny Britt said it during his show on Thursday. Hey, we thought about just kicking it out of bounds at the ending of the game. Just, hey, why give them a chance to score a touchdown? Take it at the 40, and we'll go from there. You saw, he said, hey, we couldn't even execute that. So I'm curious what happens with this win tonight, because I think if it's going to affect anything tonight, it's going to be those long kickoffs.
Certainly, and again, we'll see if they're able to get it into the end zone. Captains are still back in the locker rooms as we're waiting for them to come out. And I believe, Christian, as you said, once you get into region play, captains kind of stay the same as they go throughout the season. BC for homecoming in all gray tonight with the white helmet. So gray uniforms with the maroon numbers, gray pants, and the white helmet. And we didn't see Warner Robbins in their uniforms, but I'm guessing they're going to be in all black, it would appear, with the red helmets tonight for Warner Robbins. But as you said when we first came on, a tremendous night for football. Not really any clouds in sight. If you're going to say something's nagging, it'd be the wind, because it is kind of gusting and swirling a little bit. But other than that, temperature-wise, you couldn't ask for anything better playing on turf high school football in the state of Georgia.
No, and looking down on the field, you can see the jerseys kind of billowing a little bit. So I think it's just as windy down there as it is up here. But when you run the football like these teams do and a lot of quick passes, I don't think it should affect the gameplay. But I think probably the best just feel for a game so far this season. Shouldn't be any cramps. I shouldn't see anybody grabbing hamstrings in this one. This is absolutely perfect for football tonight.
And Christian, this is as Danny Britt calls it, we just worry about ourselves type game. You could say, hey, we're coming off the highest of highs last week, playing a team that got beat by Wayne County last week, who had lost, I think, 14 games in a row or something like that. It was quite a long streak. Can't be complacent. Go worry about yourself. Finish the job, and let's move to 2-0 in region play.
Yeah, just come out and execute. Do what you got to do. You can't think about trying to change for each different opponent that comes in. Execute what you're supposed to do and try to do it at a really high level. And I think we've talked about it so many times before, and you just always seem to forget it at the beginning of the season each time. But it takes a while for these teams to really find who they are. And usually for BC, it ends up being a very good product. But you have to find which guys work where. You've been shuffling the offensive line all season long. Reeve Leonard last week had a really big game at center for you and didn't necessarily start there at the beginning of the season. So you have guys all over the place really settling in. And it always seems like by the end of the year, you kind of find what clicks for this team, and they're really explosive and they're really talented and they execute well. Now you're getting to that part where you're 6-7 games into the season and you're kind of getting to see the final form of that team. Stephen Cannon, Danny Britt talked about it, hasn't necessarily played a whole lot of football as a starting quarterback. Last year was his first time as the starting quarterback for the Cadets, and that got cut short about halfway through the season. It feels like he's been here for forever, but as the starting quarterback, really kind of coming to the end of his first season, quote unquote, with his 10th, 11th game kind of coming up here. And I think you're seeing him mature and really kind of settle into that role here. The Cadets are hoping that, hey, we finish this 5-game stretch of region play, and then we start a new 5-game season in the playoffs.
It is homecoming here in Savannah for the Benedictine Cadets. The Cadets certainly won the tailgate out there across the way. Look at the big tent and the spread going on out there. And speaking of that, let Barnes Restaurant cater your next tailgate event or just your family get-together. 50 years in service to Savannah. Check out all their 50-year anniversary specials. 50 pieces of chicken for $50, 50 chicken tenders for $50, 5 pounds of pulled pork for $50. They need to be a part of your next tailgate. They can do it all for you. BarnesRestaurant.com. We appreciate them bringing you along here through the Barnes Restaurant pregame show. We'll come back let you know who's getting the ball first. Have the kickoff when we come back here on Watch BC Sports.
The honor, the heritage, the tradition of excellence. The home for Benedictine Cadets football is WatchBCSports.com. All the games, play-by-play, and in-depth analysis. Home of the Danny Britt Show. Be a part of the action as your Benedictine Cadets take the field in their quest for yet another championship. On the official home of the Cadets, WatchBCSports.com. And look for us on Facebook and Instagram at WatchBC Sports.
What?
Plan your hunting getaway and escape to experience the beauty of Mossy Pond. Our diverse property right here in Pierce County allows you to enjoy various types of hunts, including plantation-style quail, hog, pheasant, and flooded timber-style duck hunts, all within 24 hours. At the center of it all, experience scenic, rustic, beautiful, and inviting amenities like luxury lodging, our first-class pro shop, fine dining, and the perfect event space. Book now and see why Mossy Pond Lodge is Georgia's premier hunting paradise.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Bernard Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
Want to make some extra cash just by sitting on your couch? At Cash and Carry in Savannah, Georgia, we buy any car, no matter the condition, and take it right off the road. Just visit the link, enter your car details, and get an instant offer. Cash and Carry, turning cars into cash without leaving your couch.
Welcome back here to the countdown to kickoff. Cadets captains out there. Christian, while we have a moment as they walk up the near sideline, we haven't had a lot of home games here in 2025, but some news here. The cannon that we always hear, I say fire the cannon when BC scores here at home. Longtime guy, Mike Douglas, had to retire. BC was looking for someone else to step up, and they did. Doug Broom, class of 1980, going to be your new cannoneer. So fire the cannons tonight, Doug, and let's get it done.
I was about to say, Doug, you got to be on it because Mike, whenever Kevin said fire that cannon, immediate.
We were on a telepathic wavelength there.
ESP.
He knew.
Yeah, you just hitting them with it. And so we needed to be right on schedule with that cannon. One of the cool traditions here for BC, and Kevin, we talked about it, man. Homecoming, this place is packed. I think we still got fans filing in from what looked to be a pretty superb spread over there for the tailgate area. Still some folks, I think, grabbing like one last plate, shoveling the food in before they come in here. Some stuff in the red Solo cups before they get in here and get loud. But, I mean, filling in, this is far and away the busiest we've seen. And you talk about homecoming for BC. It's such an amazing alumni community. Tonight you have your really, really special football team on the field, and you get to see people from different classes. I know they recognized the 1985 class, 40-year anniversary for them, and then also that 2014 state championship team, Danny Britt's fourth year, their first state championship under Coach Britt. That's their 11-year anniversary. So it's really, really cool.
And that'll make you feel old because I remember that team, and I'm like, oh, geez.
Well, I told Danny, it's like, man, it's like whenever you see pictures of the Georgia Dome now, you're like, well, that was at least 10 years ago. So it's going quick, but just a lot of special people here. I know Justin Thomas made an appearance after just dominating in the College World Series. So all kinds of special athletes out there, but really just cool to see the community and all the former years and years from the BC community out here.
I think they're going to recognize that 2014 state championship team at halftime tonight here of the ball game. So I'm really excited about that. And again, as you said, a wonderful crowd here for Benedictine tonight for homecoming, and everything you can want in the weather tonight for a early October high school football game. And we are still awaiting the cat. I'm not quite sure what on earth they're waiting for to go do this coin flip, but Warner Robbins has run out on the field already, and the captains still haven't even come out for the coin toss. So not really sure what the holdup is.
It looks like they're doing some kind of ceremony with each of the captains walking with a youth league player, which is cool to see.
So now they'll take the long stroll up the sideline. Never quite seen them wait for the pregame clock to run all the way down.
Well, I think it was the officials, because the official didn't walk over to escort them until just now. So maybe we had an official pull a hamstring. They had to get the backup in there.
He was enjoying some of the pregame tunes from the Beastie Boys as well and forgot what time it was. Might have been the case.
You know who didn't forget what time it is? Danny Britt. Fired up down there.
Danny Britt's probably like, why are we not on the field right now?
Also, I'll say this. The only people in the stadium who are maybe enjoying the blustery, cool wind, the fathers on the field with the sweet robes.
Oh, yes.
He's like, I mean, just when he thought I couldn't look any cooler.
Yeah, so you got Cam Cody, Jaden Houston, Carlton Hall, and Stephen Cannon, your captains tonight. And they await to walk across the field. Warner Robbins wearing the white tops with the black pants and the red helmets with the red outline on those numbers as we wait for the captains to officially walk out there. But Christian, after last week, man, I normally have been like, hey, if you want to make a statement early, put the offense out there. But the way they've played, if I win this toss, I'm putting my D out there and saying, hey, let's set the tone right now.
Danny Britt's been about that. It's just, hey, we're going to put our best foot forward. It doesn't mean the offense is bad. Just the defense has been so dominant to start the year. So they want to put their best unit out there and then get a chance to potentially get the ball to start the second half. But as we say all that, he'll go out there, win the toss, and say, hey, offense, here we go.
Yeah, let's let A.J. DePhillips do his thing here early. But, again, wonderful atmosphere tonight for a ball game. It feels weird that we're this deep into the season and have had one home game, Christian, if I'm not mistaken. And after this, I think, next week, with Wayne County is senior night already. So,
right.
So with only 3 home games, you start hitting some of these things. You get youth night, homecoming, and senior night. Boom, boom, boom. Got to get them in.
Breast cancer awareness night, like all piled into one. Yeah. I know after that you'll head to Perry and then technically an away game at Puller Stadium.
That's a Thursday night game there against New Hampstead, who played actually last night against Ware County, and the Gators pulled away from them late and won convincingly. Captain's now finally heading out towards midfield. I mean, this has been the longest trek to get a coin toss done I think we've seen in quite some time. But, again, Cadets winning the region opener last week, trying to continue that here tonight. Man, that wind is whipping around up here top of the press box.
I'll let you know when Kevin has the ruby red slippers on.
That's right. We went to we did bring hoodie tonight, so we may have to get there before the game is over. And so we're out here for the coin toss. An absolutely gorgeous night for football. And I think after last week, Cadets, you probably couldn't get them back out here on the field fast enough.
Oh, yeah.
The way they played last week. That's one of those where, hey, we want to play again. Just keep going.
And can you build off of that momentum you established in the second half? 2 touchdown drives in the second half, and then also big special teams plays and a defense dominating. Can you build off of that monumental second half?
They're talking to Stephen Cannon, so I believe the Cadets have won the toss, and they are going to defer. So there you go. Put the defense out there first. We'll get an idea real quickly about the kickoffs and this wind, how they're being affected.
I mean, it's funny because you look at the flags. You have the 5 different military branches across the field at the top of the away stands, and some of them are pointing left, some of them are pointing right, some of them are pointing straight at us. I mean, it is swirling. And we've been blessed this year. We were talking about it on the way up here, where it's been a very mild hurricane season. There's been some ferocious ones, but they've stayed a few hundred miles off the coast. So we've gotten lucky so far this season, but I think tonight really the first we've been affected by it because it is windy.
Yeah, good to have you along here for the broadcast. Again, home games per BC's request. No video for us tonight, so you'll have the audio version, which can be a lot of fun. Listen to me scream and holler. And here come the Cadets in their all grays with the white helmets here to the near side. And they will kick it to Warner Robbins here momentarily. We will be underway finally here for this football game tonight. But again, it's about setting that tone early. And Christian, you feel like you're kind of at full strength here from don't know about the first time all season, but certainly since way back towards Camden.
Yeah.
You lost some guys in that game, in that preseason scrimmage, but tonight, maybe the first time all season where you could say, hey, the guys that we projected to start and be healthy, they're healthy, and we're ready to play wide open here.
No, certainly the healthiest you've been this year, Kevin, and that's really great to see for this BC team because it kind of lets you establish who this team can be, and you've seen that now for 2 weeks in a row where you've had your full complement of secondary guys. You've had your skill guys back with Josh Washington recovering from that concussion he suffered against Colquitt. So really seeing this BC team at full strength is something special.
EJ Adside back deep for Warner Robbins, along with Dante Stubbs. And it will be John Brenton kicking it here for BC. They'll go left to right here in the first quarter. So out of the north end zone, kicking to the south end zone here at Memorial Stadium. Fans up on their feet, ready to go here in this one.
Still filing in.
So John Brenton ready to go. He checks around, gets the okay, and here he goes, slowly forward. He'll drive one up the left hash. It will come down at the 2-yard line, out across the 5 to the 10, and missed tackle there at the 11 to 15, 20, 25, and out of bounds goes Stubbs. The flag comes in late, back at the 17-yard line. A couple of BC folks clapping there saying it's going back. On Warner Robbins, Christian.
They're going to get a hold on Warner Robbins, but a better job that time, Kevin, staying in your lanes for BC. Last week, you just opened up a huge alley, and they kind of schemed you up, double-teamed Weisbrook and scored a touchdown. That time, your safety stayed home and made a big play right there, and then get a holding. You're going to back them up even more, so the decision to kick off pays off.
Yeah, lick your chops here. This is going to put them back inside the 10, I think. Ball will be placed down at the they're weaving around. They're going to put the ball down at the 9. So 1st and 10 here for the Demons. They are led onto the field. If I can hold my roster still in this gale force, this will be Mackay Scott Adkinson.
He's a big dude.
If I can see my numbers correctly.
And he's played a lot of football for him.
Maybe I have the wrong roster. Here's the snap straight ahead. And that's going to be stuffed and going nowhere. Everybody on the defensive front won their battle. Excuse me, this is Lakevius Bryant is the quarterback. I apologize. I was going to say Atkinson is 5'11", 167. That is not correct.
That is not who is standing in the backfield, yeah. Again, they got guys who have played a lot of football for him, and interesting, Kevin, they're coming out in a shotgun, but too tight set. You wonder if that's just because they're buried deep here, or is this something they're trying to move to? Is just more of a power set.
Yeah, here is Bryant. He'll reach out to his receiver. I don't think they are set how they want to. They'll put a man in motion, giving him twins to the short side. Bryant with the snap, looking to blitz. Oh, my goodness gracious. Is that a fumble? If not, it's a safety.
They haven't signaled yet.
Safety. Boy, what a hit. They absolutely lit up the world of Bryant in the end zone. He let it fly, caused a fumble, and Warner Robbins fell on it for the safety. So 2 plays, 2 negative plays for the defense, Christian, and now you're getting the ball back.
Yeah, they try to go backside screen, a really slow developing play for your offense, and BC's pass rush got home. Looked like Gavin Smith getting the sack in the end zone, and the ball comes out, trying to get it to the receiver, but he threw it backwards, and we didn't see who came up with it, but one of their offensive linemen looked like fell on it. So 2 points, and the decision to kick off pays off. That'll play.
So BC going to get this ball in great field position.
I mean, it makes sense, Kevin. It's the baseball playoffs, a little 2-0 start for the Cadets here in the top of the first inning.
There you go. So 1 minute in exactly, and the Cadets find points. And that defense, if that's how it goes tonight, they haven't blocked anybody yet.
And here's danger zone right now for Warner Robbins is Bubba Frasier. He's got a kick return for a touchdown. Aaron Mallard's back there. He's got a kick return for a touchdown. You've got to punt this football up into this gale force wind right now, and they're going to get their hands on it. So do you have the guys out there to stop them? Or you just squib it right at the second line for BC.
Jaden Duke Rice going to kick this ball for Warner Robbins. So here is Rice. Everybody goes in tight now, spreads out. They're going to pooch one up in the air, and it's going to come down at the BC 45 across the 50 to the 45, 40. A flag comes flying in. It's a pink breast cancer awareness flag from across the way. And BC, I don't know if they're going to get called for a hold.
I think that was Josh Washington on the return, and he got it inside their 40.
No, that was Stanley Smart, the up back. Yeah. So Stanley got up there.
He's got the rolled up jersey. It's hard to tell if it's a 5 or a 7.
That's what happens when all your skill guys have these single digits and they start rolling jerseys.
And
the gray on maroon.
The maroon numbers on the gray jerseys.
I will say a lot of people do like them up close and personal. Count Kevin is one calling a game. He doesn't like it. Yeah. They start sweating. It all looks the same. That maroon and gray just go together. So here come the Cadets. They get pushed back to their 46 after the penalty, but great field position nonetheless as they get started. Looking at a 5-man front. Here's the snap. Cannon going to keep it on a read. Now comes a cut to the outside. Gets a block across the 50 to the 45 to the 40 and brought down after a huge gain on first down by Antavius Hawkins. That's the BC brothers moving the chains. First down, Christian Goeckel.
No, go ahead.
I would say I'll have to see Buchanan run.
Yeah, we talked about it. You're going to see some design runs for Stephen Cannon, probably 2 or 3 in the game, but that time, Kevin, really good job of seeing something close down on the left, breaking it back to the right, following his blocks, and picking up a big first down.
Okay, that's right back up to the line. They'll put a receiver to either side. Stanley Smart, they're going to go pistol. They'll put Conaway, the tight end, over to the left side. Here's the snap. They'll run left with Smart. Smart gets out there. Conaway with a nice block, gets 5, and will lean ahead, turned around at the 32, but a big gain of 7 on first down. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Yeah, that was a really nice job that time, Kevin. Everett Nelson pulls, and they just kind of a little stretch zone play that time. Only coaching point on that one is, hey, you got the first guy, get to the next one. Just kind of bulldozed a corner, and then the safety comes up and makes the play, and he was kind of standing there looking at nobody, but again, just running the football at will to start.
Cadets will go empty, though. Diamond quads up to the left. They'll fling it out and drop. They just tried to run a bubble screen, and it was incomplete to Josh Washington. It'll be 2nd down.
That's the second time we've seen that play this year where you put the diamond formation out to the left with 4 receivers. And the first time we saw it was Westminster. They threw it to Bubba Frasier, and he got rocked for like a 7-yard loss. That one was almost an interception. Teams are keying so hard on that bubble screen at this point. Do you just pump fake that and send the other 3 guys on go routes?
I think you got to try it at some point. They'll bring everybody in tight, 3rd down. They need about 4. Here's Cannon. He'll give it to Smart this side. Smart makes a man miss. Cuts back inside. He's got the first down and more. He's at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! Stanley Smart, 33 yards on the sweep to the right. And BC's in the end zone again.
Yeah, Kevin, Stanley Smart showing off the speed that time, but great blocking by the right side of that offensive line. They just caved down Warner Robbins, and Stanley Smart did the rest, outran a corner to the boundary. And, again, he's got unbelievable speed, and he showed it off on that one.
33 yards off the right side for Stanley Smart. And now the point after for Parker Lewis. I would say he's kicking into the wind, but who knows really. It's up and it's good. Win that swirling win, and the Cadets lead it 9-0. Just like that, way out in front. This is Cadets football presented by Cash and Carry.
Want to make some extra cash just by sitting on your couch? At Cash and Carry in Savannah, Georgia, we buy any car, no matter the condition, and take it right off the road. Just visit the link, enter your car details, and get an instant offer. Cash and Carry, turning cars into cash without leaving your couch.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. Homecoming getting off to a great start. Christian Goeckel, as it's 9-0, and you barely played 3 minutes and just dominated 2 snaps defensively there against the Demons.
Hey, Kevin, run, pass, run, touchdown. I mean, BC has found something with Stanley Smart, and they've been waiting for him to become that superstar kind of player, and I think we're kind of seeing it form in front of our eyes right now.
So here is John Brenton to do the kicking for the Cadets on the kickoff. And he'll boot one up the left side. It's going to be a little shorter down at the 5. Across the 10 to the 15 up the left side and get mowed over right about the 20-21. They'll give him forward progress out to the 22-yard line, and that's where Warner Robbins will take over 1st and 10.
And I know it seems like a small thing because it's what you're supposed to do, but I think a big win right now with the kickoff coverage unit, Kevin, getting down there and making tackles. Last week it was an adventure every single time, and this time BC is getting down there, staying in their lanes, and wrapping up.
Yeah, Bennett Conaway with the tackle there, and I know he said they changed some personnel on kick coverage this week.
JoJo Sutton was out there.
Trying to find that right mix. It has been a season-long experiment, if you will. So here's Bryant. He'll step back in a shotgun. Cadets are showing all kinds of pressure here on 1st and 10. They'll motion receiver left to right. Bryant, low snap, dug out, going to throw it out in the flat, and he is absolutely annihilated back at the 14 as soon as he caught the ball, and that was Mai Williams who read that from the jump, and another negative play. 3 snaps, 3 negative plays for this BC defense.
Yeah, it looked like BC kind of rolled to a cover 3 look right there, so Mackay kind of slid down as a third linebacker in the coverage, and they just tried a little swing pass out to the flats. It's just a wonderful job of breaking down, not going for the big blow-up hit, just breaking down, making a tackle, and putting them way behind the sticks.
So here is Bryant. Again, one receiver to either side. They'll motion to give him twins to his right. Low snap. It's on the ground. He's going to try to pick it up and fling it, and it is caught over the middle. What a recovery and a pass and a catch out there to Ezra Goings.
And the backside official is going to say it's skipped.
That looked like a good catch from where we sat.
I think so, too.
So it'll be 3rd and 17 here for Warner Robbins, and snap issues here on the offensive side of things the last 2 plays.
It's really been a bugaboo for them all season long. Last week is what's got them against Wayne, but it's just low and slow almost, Kevin, and the quarterback trying to keep his eyes up and watch the defense is having a trouble. But, I mean, that was an unbelievable job by him, getting a football down by his feet, coming up and hitting his receiver in stride.
So here's Bryant on 3rd and 17. Receiver to either side. They'll motion a man across the formation. They'll read it. He'll keep it. He'll go straight ahead, and he'll run into the official at the 20. And he's brought down out at the 25, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's a play you saw Cam Newton run about 1 million times at Auburn with Gus Malzahn as his OC. And it just, you get the defense flowing with the jet sweep, pull it out of that belly, and run right up the middle. And if the official's not there, he's close to a 1st down. But fortunately, official's part of the field. You got to go around him.
Yeah, and this will be more of an adventure that we were watching snaps pregame, Christian. And this don't really know what to expect. I don't know if the Demons know what to expect here on this long snap. And here it is. It's high, brought down, and a low wobbly punt's going to hit at the Demon 40. Roll out towards midfield. They'll mark it up inside Demon territory at the 47. So great positive field position here for the Cadets. And Christian, I will say this in the crossover here. Warner Robbins is running a double tights, 1 wide receiver to either side set, and they're not blocking anybody up front, really.
And I think that's probably why you see them going to this right now is they're basically max protect every time, 2 or 3 guys in the routes. And so BC is going to be able to get creative with what they want to do defensively, but it's been really, really fun to watch those guys eating right now.
We have a break in the action. Cadets up big, 9-0. We're coming right back. This is Cadet Football presented by Cash and Carry.
Bowtie Barbecue Company at 6724 Waters Avenue in Savannah serves up barbecue both familiar and new. Made by hand and made with love. Family friendly and relaxed, Bowtie takes great pride in the by hand preparation of high quality beef ribs, smoked chicken, pork spare ribs, and more. Come join the Bowtie family. Ask about our food truck and catering too. Bowtie Barbecue Company. Southern charm naturally. Look for them online at bowtiebarbecueco.com.
Cash and Carry wants to buy your car. New, used, running or not. Miles don't matter. We pay cash on the spot. Fast, easy, and hassle-free. Call today. Cash and Carry, where your car turns into cash.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. 9-0. Cadets out in front, and it has been knife through butter offensively and defensively outside of one play offensively. They've done whatever they wanted, and pretty much the same defensively.
I just looking at Warner Robbins, you wonder, when do they stop sending just 4 and try to load the box and stop this run game?
So here's Cannon on a straight drop on first down. Looking, going to pump fake, flush to his right. Still looking. Steven going to tuck it and go, and he'll get back to the original line of scrimmage before he's knocked down. And it'll be 2nd down and 10, brought down by the linebacker, Jamari Timpson.
And BC that time going for a shot. They had an extra offensive lineman in the game, so 6 linemen giving Steven some time, but good job. We talked about it in the pregame. Their corners have the ability to run with BC's wide receivers, and they took that away, and Cannon elected to just take a 0-yard gain instead of trying to fit something in.
Cadets will go flex bone look with 1 wide receiver. They'll come back here to the near side. This is Bubba. Oh, makes a man miss. No, this is Josh Washington, 30. No, what a stutter step at the 25, 20. Still on his feet, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Josh Washington, 47 yards for the touchdown. I looked like Bubba Frasier for a minute, but it was Josh Washington turning on the Jets, and the Cadets continue to pile on here in the first quarter.
Yeah, Kevin, that was unbelievable. Again, right side, Hall, I think, had the play where he sealed his guy on the line, broke down the field, and was able to get a couple of pancakes, paving the way for Josh Washington. But Josh Washington made 3 demons just whiff with some sick moves.
Some receiver downfield got an absolute annihilation block out there, too. Parker Lewis up and good. And it's 16-0. Benedictine out in front. Christian Goeckel will come right back. This is Cadet Football presented by Cash and Carry.
BC Brothers Moving is Savannah's most trusted moving service. From residential to commercial to packing supplies, BC Brothers does it all. Let BC Brothers' energetic, trustworthy team wrap it, pack it, and move it for you. Check out BC Brothers online at bcbrothersmoving.com or give them a like on Facebook.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. Cadets rolling here early. Christian Goeckel, 16-0, and it has been just annihilation on all fronts here. A 33-yard touchdown run and a 47-yard touchdown run, a safety by the defense, and really Warner Robbins has had 1 positive offensive play tonight.
Yeah, line of scrimmage just dominated by the Cadets tonight, and that time Carlton Hall moving so quick and fluid that Kevin thought it was a wide receiver, but no, that's your right tackle running 40 yards down the field to bury a corner and get your wide receiver into the end zone. So BC feeling it early here.
All I saw was a white jersey go flying through the air like Superman. That's because he got drilled. It was way downfield, so it had me kind of fooled. Here's John Brenton to kick it off left to right for the 3rd time already here in this first quarter. It comes down around the 5, out to the 10, 15 here up the near sideline, and going to be pushed out of bounds. Let him go.
And down goes a photog.
And knocked out of bounds. Who was that? Trying to see if that was 25. A lot of the Cadets wearing the tucked under jerseys tonight.
Yep.
I think it's 29. That would be Noah Harris with the tackle out of bounds.
And it is interesting. They're going with 3 deep men on the kickoffs, which it just takes away an extra blocker for you. So BC able to get home early there on those kickoffs. So if you're Warner Robbins, I think the inside run game has worked a little bit because you just kind of get Cam Cody a little misdirection to try to run where he leaves. That's about the only thing that's been working offensively.
So here is Bryant. And no motion here to the near side. They will run the flip reverse, and they got BC leaning to one side, and that's going to be close to a first down where he's brought down at the 30. And that was LaDamian Guyton who ran him down, but not before he got a first down. But it just shows you the speed of that young man. And that time Warner Robbins got BC looking the wrong way.
I mean, it is a great play call. You have BC flowing. You've just seen how aggressively they've been attacking the football, and you get your speedster with the football in his hands and ahead of steam, and he gets tracked down by behind from a defensive end. You just kind of get a chance to see the athleticism of Guyton right there. That was really special.
Bryant out of a shotgun. Cadets walking a couple backers up there, and it seems like this base set double tight. They'll motion a receiver to one side or the other. And they'll move it to the right this time. Low snap, dug out, and BC, missed 2 or 3 tackles. And then, Wyatt Estabrook just brought the lumber. No, that was Larson Little
Yeah, I think the officials missed a false start there. The quarterback snapped it. The center kind of flinched, so all 4 linemen started moving before the ball, and then he rolled it back there. So I think BC caught a little off guard. Only a 2-yard gain, but just a lot of miscommunication. And now twice, Kevin, you see the quarterback look to one of the wide receivers, tell him to go in motion. The wide receiver goes, no. And he's like, oh, yeah. Turns to the other guy and puts him in motion. Just miscommunication here early for Warner Robbins.
So same formation here for the Demons. They'll motion right to left, and they will fake it. Quarterback will keep it Bryant, and he'll go straight ahead. He'll have the first down, brought down out near the 42-yard line, tackled by Jaden Houston. But it will move the chains for the Demons.
And again, you're just sending the guy in motion, reading the linebackers. The linebackers flow with that guy. Quarterback pulls it out of his belly, just runs right up the middle of the defense. Like I said, it's something you saw Cam Newton run a ton, but it's been a football play for 100 years. I mean, the service academies have run that same play just from under center, and it's so effective. BC just got to maintain eye discipline.
So 1st and 10 here for the Demons. And now they'll roll out. Bryant looking to pass short, and it was knocked down, incomplete. I believe that's Jonathan Black in the coverage out there, and he met the receiver. That was Goings at the same time and knocked the ball loose, so it'll be 2nd down.
We talked about it. You can usually guess which way the ball is going to go because it's away from Guyton, and they move the pocket on a little sprint out and just a little stop, but the ball's got to be out earlier. The quarterback throws it late, and Black almost gets there for an interception, but does a good job of getting to the football and breaking it up.
So 2nd down and 10 for the Demons. Again, they've run the same formation all night. A receiver to either side, a back offset of the quarterback, Bryant, and they'll motion one left to right this time. Here's the snap. Play action, looking. Bryant going to throw over the middle. Intercepted and coming back the other way in a clear lane. All the way up the right side. Mai Williams at the 30, the 25, the 20. Tries to cut back and knocked out of bounds at the 17-yard line. But a pick off by Mai Williams. And the Cadets are in business again.
Yeah, that time LaDamian Guyton won at the line of scrimmage. They singled him up with the right tackle, and he blew by him on the inside, got his hand in the quarterback's face, and the quarterback just kind of blind fired over the middle right to Mai Williams. And then every time he gets his hands on the ball, Kevin, it feels like he's going to get to the end zone. And that time basically turned into a punt return. BC set up with another short field here and a chance to really blow this one open.
On the 14-yard line is where they're going to say Mackay stepped out. Cadets will come out with twins up top. Bubba Frasier down to the bottom of the formation with Conaway, the tight end. Here's the snap. They'll fake. They'll go over the top. They had Conaway open and just a little too strong for Stephen Cannon.
Yeah, I think Cannon's got to give that one just another beat, let Conaway run open because he was clearing the safety, and the safety was running with Bubba Frasier, but just kind of pulled the trigger a little bit early. Got to trust the line.
I was going to say if he had to commit to Conaway, Bubba was going to be open.
But, I mean, if he waits another second, he could have just lobbed it over the middle, and Conaway could have stood there for 4 or 5 seconds and caught that one. I mean, he was wide open.
2nd down, they'll give to Bubba Frasier. He'll try to cut back inside and get stood up, maybe lose a half a yard. They went double running back that time, and I think Warner Robbins kind of sniffed that out.
Well, I'd say the same thing for Bubba on that one. That's a buck sweep, and he kind of gets to decide which hole he wants to go to, and he chose the first one. I think if he was patient and trusted his blockers, he's walking into the end zone. So I think him and Steven will go back, watch the last 2 plays, and realize, hey, just give it a second, let it open up. You have the skill to make these plays happen. You don't just have to fire it in there.
So here is Cannon out of a shotgun.
I'm looking at number 4, one-on-one at the bottom. Now they motion.
They put Bubba in motion. They'll counter back. Nice cut. Stanley Smart tries to stay on his feet, still pushing, and gets tied up and brought down at the 16-yard line. No gain. It'll be 3rd down.
That was a great play by the defensive end because Stanley Smart coming back on the counter was going to walk into the end zone, but the defensive end who was on the ground grabs his ankle and rolls him up.
And they're bringing in the beef here on – nope, they're going to kick the field goal. That was 4th down. I'm sorry.
Still some beef.
The down marker across the way was a little late converting over. This will be a 33-yarder from just inside the right hash for Parker Lewis. That wind, at least the direction he's going, I think is blowing that end zone. He kicks it, and it is good. So Parker Lewis extends the lead. It is 19. There's a flag on the play. Is BC going to – there's a Warner Robbins player down. And maybe they were just blowing for the injured Demon. But the Cadets take a 19-0 lead. We're coming right back. This is Cadets football presented by Cash and Carry.
The honor, the heritage, the tradition of excellence. The home for Benedictine Cadets football is WatchBCSports.com. All the games, play-by-play, and in-depth analysis. Home of the Danny Britt Show. Be a part of the action as your Benedictine Cadets take the field in their quest for yet another championship. On the official home of the Cadets, WatchBCSports.com. And look for us on Facebook and Instagram at WatchBCSports. As the world's largest lifestyle retailer of recreational boats and yachts, MarineMax is dedicated to connecting people with life-changing experiences on the water. More than just a boat retailer, MarineMax offers a complete range of services. 3518 Old Tybee Road, Thunderbolt, and online at marinemax.com. Bowtie Barbecue Company at 6724 Waters Avenue in Savannah serves up barbecue both familiar and new. Made by hand and made with love. Family friendly and relaxed, Bowtie takes great pride in the by hand preparation of high quality beef ribs, smoked chicken, pork spare ribs, and more. Come join the Bowtie family. Ask about our food truck and catering too. Bowtie Barbecue Company. Southern charm naturally. Look for them online at bowtiebarbecueco.com.
Welcome to Sandnat Golf Carts, where luxury meets quality. We offer a wide selection of top-notch custom golf carts to suit your every need. With our extensive inventory, you're sure to find the ride of your dreams. Plus, our flexible financing options make it easier than ever to drive one off the lot today. Whether you're cruising the neighborhood or joyriding with the family, Sandnat Golf Carts is here to provide exceptional service every step of the way. Visit us today to elevate your ride.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. The young man for Warner Robbins is still down on the field. You got their trainers, and the trainers for BC have come off the sideline to take a look at that young man. I think Danny Britt going out there to check and see if that young man is okay. They're just being very careful with him while he is down on the field. So now you see Danny Britt. He's going to continue over there.
Warner Robbins bringing their whole team together. Everybody taking a knee.
And again, it was a year ago in this game. You had an incident on the sideline with involving a BC coach where he needed medical attention. And it kind of brings me back to that moment last year where it was a scary couple of moments. And as you said, all of Warner Robbins' bench huddled up. BC players taking a knee here on the near sideline. And as you said, you see Danny Britt over there trying to check on that young man as well.
And if there's anybody you want out there with your kid, it's those two guys from BC staff. I mean, they've saved a player's life whose heart stopped at practice. Again, like you said, last year, heart attack on the sideline, able to save him. I mean, it's two guys who have a long history of this, and I think we see one of them heading over to the paramedics right now.
And you hope that that's not necessary, but this is just a precaution. But, yeah, they might wheel the ambulance out here for that young man, and you hate to see it happen at any point. And I think you see some of his parents coming out on the field now to check on that young man, and they're being very careful. Looks like he is sitting up, Christian, just the way they're kind of huddled around. And now you see some more of the Warner Robbins coaching staff headed out that direction towards that young man.
And we just don't want to speculate onto what could be happening.
But you hate to see that at any point in time. It looks like they have him sitting up, Christian. You can't really see in that mass of people, but the way all the sports medicine folks and all have repositioned themselves, that everybody's kind of gone from way down on the ground to kind of up. And so you see the Warner Robbins coach talking to him, so it would appear that young man is responsive. And again, don't want to speculate, but you saw the coach kind of looked like he'd been over and was talking to him. And they got him standing up, so that's good. And I know Mom and Dad breathing a sigh of relief there, walking him gingerly across the way. Kamarian Smith. And I think they're going to have him at least checked out.
And again, this is purely speculation, but just hearing from a couple folks on the sideline, sounds like it was a dislocated shoulder, and they popped it back into place.
Oh.
There's some yelling. So, but, I mean, from all the things running through everybody's head, that's probably about as best as we could have hoped for right there. Nothing broken.
And I think that's why they're probably –
Yeah, you see how they're holding that arm.
They're
Looks like
gonna-
left arm.
probably going to take him to get further evaluation, stabilize that shoulder.
That's not a fun feeling.
And Christian, now, as you know, being on the football field, you got to turn around and play football.
It's such a scary moment, Kevin. It's when you roll your ankle and you got to be careful playing basketball again. It's just one of those feelings where you're just like, the first few plays after seeing something like that, you just kind of got that little sick feeling in your stomach. So just got to go out there, execute, and get hit a couple times and knock that feeling out. Just hope your brother over there is okay.
So here's John Brenton to tee it up. He'll kick it left to right. Once again here in the first quarter. And into that wind, he'll go right side this time. It'll come down about the 5-6 yard line and running back towards the middle. Boy, Cadets had that bottled up well, tackled at the 15, and whatever Danny Britton company worked on in practice is working for him tonight here on the kick coverage. Tackle, initial stop made by Rasheen Jackson. And then about 4 other gray shirts are right there to clean it up.
Now we're in a coastal community. People know about fishing with a net, try to get those bait fish. That's exactly what it looks like. Is you're just pulling the string on about 5 cadets when they find where the guy is, and there's all collapsing. It's just picture perfect kickoff coverage.
So now Warner Robbins 1st and 10 from their 15. Kind of got a little bit of a drive going last time out before they stalled out.
And they've done a better job the last couple of drives of establishing a little bit of a run game, but then you get away from it and things kind of go backwards.
They were moving it till that interception to Mai Williams. Here's Bryant trying to hard count. They'll try to give it inside. Oh, they tried to fake it and they fooled no one. LaDamian Guyton, and who else was there? Is that
Jameer Lee?
Jameer Lee.
Yeah.
That's a lot of meat to be meeting in the middle.
Well, it's always the players out there making the plays, but that's a great call by your defensive coordinator, Galen Houston. I mean, you slant on that one, and basically everybody came free, and it's the first time you've seen that for the Cadets so far today. So just a great play call that time, and you just blow them up in the backfield.
2nd down and 15 from the 10-yard line. Bryant back in the shotgun again. They have not changed formations all game long. Double tights, receiver to either side. They motion one and try to get BC moving. They'll roll the quarterback. Oh, my goodness, they forgot about number 3, and they got the throwback off, and it's going to be pulled down about the 16-yard line. That's going to be number 9, Larson Little. And, again, they left Guyton unblocked and just got the throwback just off.
I love it. It's a great play call because you know he's going to be coming with a head full of steam at the quarterback, and quarterback does a great job looking right and then coming back left, dumping it right over his head to a wide open running back. And just a great job by Larson Little staying at home, getting there and making the tackle and bringing up 3rd and long.
So 3rd down and 7 for the Demons. They'll put 2 receivers up top. First time we've kind of seen them go off script as far as formation is concerned. And here's Brian out of a shotgun. He'll look, throw over the middle. It's caught, hit immediately. 2 linebackers got him, and then LaDamian Guyton got him under the chin for good measure. That was Houston and Larson Little on the initial stop. Christian, it'll be 4th and about 3.
Yeah, a little zone defense that time by BC. They just all had their eyes in the backfield. Quarterback dumps it short to the tight end, and BC, great job wrapping up and making that tackle.
So Warner Robbins going to punt the football. And again, snaps have been an issue. And the kicker, and we watched in warm-ups, their punter not a super strong leg, so BC going to get this probably in plus territory.
Yeah, and 2 guys deep for BC. I think it's Makai and Bubba.
And we blew it dead.
False start.
False start on Warner Robbins, so that'll back him up 5 more yards. It'll be 4th and about 8.
And you just wonder, Kevin, if with how hit or miss these snaps have been, I think BC sending pressure and then leaving 2 safeties over the top. But, I mean, both guys are just touchdowns waiting to happen with Mai Williams and Bubba Frasier. But usually just one guy back there.
So we'll punt it again. Back from the 2-yard line is where they'll kick it from. And the punt, a high, short kick. And it'll hit, and it will take, Bubba Frasier got it, and then they mowed him over. He was on a knee when he fielded it at the 40-yard line, and 3 or 4 of them just shoved him over.
That's a great job by Bubba.
I don't know if anybody saw him in there.
Yeah, that's a great job by him going up and getting that football. Probably saved 10 yards of field position.
So the Cadets will go 1st and 10 from the Warner Robbins 41. And Christian, I want to say they've started in plus territory on all but one possession tonight.
And again, Warner Robbins really leaving 4 guys back. Looks like cover 4 for the most part. Have 5 guys on the line of scrimmage, and then not necessarily challenging BC in the run game.
Cadets will put Cannon under center out of the flex bone. They'll they'll give it to Mallard on the end around, and Aaron's going to run out of room. Give the Demons a lot of credit. They stopped him in his tracks. He's actually going to lose a half a yard as he was brought down by Hawkins off the right side. That'll do it for the first quarter. A busy first quarter, 19-0. Cadets out in front. We're coming right back. This is Cadet Football presented by Cash and Carry.
Dead or alive, we want your car. No matter the condition, running smooth or barely rolling, Cash and Carry in Savannah will buy it right off the road. Visit us now, get your instant offer, and turn that ride into cash today. We buy car, any condition.
Criminal defense, family law, child custody, DUI, and divorce. When so much is on the line, you need expert legal representation. The one to call is Savannah's own Jonathan V. Dunn, PC, attorney at law. Voted the Thomson Reuters super lawyer consecutively since 2023 and an Avo top attorney rating of 9.7. You can count on Jonathan V. Dunn to leave no stone unturned to deliver the justice you seek. Contact 912-200-9352 or online at
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Bernard Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
We go to the second quarter. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Cadets. And they are on the 41 of Warner Robbins. Again, starting this drive in plus territory, 19-0. And it was all Cadets there in the first quarter. Maybe gotten a little complacent offensively here, trying to establish more run, and Warner Robbins done a good job adjusting.
Well, Warner Robbins gone to almost a bare front where you've got 4 down linemen, basically a stand-up defensive end on one side, and then you've dropped another outside linebacker / safety on the line of scrimmage. So 6 people across the board for the Cadets. Got to feel like A.J. Phillips is saying, cool, somebody's going to be one-on-one deep.
Sucking them in to throw over the top.
Yeah.
Looks like Cadets are going to stay in that flex bone formation. At least that's what they were showing when they initially lined up there. We're waiting on the official. I think they're trying to make sure we got the play clock ready to go. So here come the Cadets out of the flex bone, right to left here in the second quarter. Cannon looking. He's got the one-on-one. Bubba Frasier out in the flat. He'll try to make a man miss. Still running and will be brought down short of the first down. Kind of did a little too much stutter stepping, but going to get a gain of 9. It'll bring up 3rd down and 1.
That's a great play call. Just with how they've been presenting the defense to you. You knew you were going to have a one-on-one. The defensive back took inside leverage right there. Just really on-time delivery from Stephen Cannon. You can just tell Bubba Frasier desperate. He's like, I need the end zone. They were double-teaming him all day against Ware County. He's still able to find the end zone.
Cats will put trips to the left. Stanley Smart behind Cannon here on 3rd and 1. They'll motion Mallard across the formation. They'll give it to
blitz.
Stanley straight ahead. Oh, somebody got a shoelace and tripped him up. He's going to lose a half a yard. And it'll be 4th and 2. And if you're Danny Britt, up 19-0, do you try to go for this?
Yeah, and the BC's right guard just got pushed into the backfield, and Stanley Smart tripped over his feet as he was trying to hit the hole, and he just kind of ran into a run blitz.
They're bringing in the beef. Scott and Cody are coming in, and I imagine they're going to lead block. Do they keep Stanley Smart at the tail of that formation? They do. Cannon will go under center. And I think Warner Robbins kind of overloading to that side. Now they'll flip over to the left. Maybe they saw a matchup they like better. Here's the snap. They give Stanley Smart tail of that eye, and I think he got stood up and didn't make it. And look at the Warner Robbins coaches. They are fired up coming off the football, and BC gets shut down for the first time tonight on 4th and short.
And Warner Robbins is not without talent. They are a big football team, and that time they just loaded up on the strong side, and BC ran right into the strength. I think if BC had countered off of that or gone play action, they're probably walking for a first down, but they went strength on strength, and for 2 plays in a row, Warner Robbins kind of beat you up front. So after the first quarter, where BC kind of dominated on the line of scrimmage, Warner Robbins showing some pride here, and they're answering back.
So here come the Demons, their first possession of the second quarter.
And Warner Robbins got to feel like BC did last week, where it's like, man, if we don't turn the football over and we don't give up a safety, it's a different looking football game.
So here's Bryant. He's got 2 receivers stacked up to the left. And he'll take the snap. He'll throw it outside, and it's a little bubble screen. BC reads that well. They say, we see that a lot. And brought down, that is Jonathan Black and I believe Larson Little over there.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback has the option to throw that one or that's just a called bubble screen, but I don't love the decision either way because BC's sitting out there with 2 defensive backs, so you're already 2 on 2. The guy's catching it has to make 2 guys miss. And then you have another safety over the top. Just you're not playing a numbers advantage there.
Demons will put 2 receivers to the right, the wide side of the field. Bryant going to check back with his coaches. Yep. And he'll go up and talk to his offensive line.
And then Cam Cody not in the game right now is Jameer Lee at nose tackle.
Bryant takes the snap. They'll play action, try to throw it out in the flat. It is going to be incomplete. They're going to say bounce short as he was looking for goings against JoJo Sutton.
And high school and college, they have those wide splits for the hashes way out there, and they're having their quarterback throw from the far hash all the way across to the numbers on a slant route. That's a tough play to make, and we've seen that a couple times where BC defenders have broken on those passes. You got to have a quarterback with a great arm to get it out there.
So it'll be 3rd down and 11 here for Warner Robbins. Let's see if the Cadets pin their ears back and try to cause havoc in the backfield. They'll motion a man left to right. Here's the snap. They'll play action. They'll keep it with the quarterback, and he'll have the first down. Tackled at midfield. A huge gain on 3rd and 11. He'll get 16 and then a first down.
Yeah, they go a little backside guard tackle pull, and it looked like they were just going to try to overload BC on the right. But again, quarterback, little midline, pulls it out, runs right where those guards had pulled out of, and able to pick up a first down. That has been far and away their most successful play. I mean, I'm going to run that until BC stops it.
Just keep running the quarterback. So 1st and 10, just inside BC territory. Now they'll fumble. The ball is out, and I think the Cadets got it. Who came up and fell on it? Out of there with it comes Jaden Houston. And they were trying to run that belly read, and quarterback said, you take it. Wide receiver thought, no, you take it, and they left it on the ground.
Same exact play again, pulling the guards. Quarterback pulls it, but I think he was trying to actually give it to his receiver at that time, and they just kind of left it sitting right there on the Chatham County logo, and Houston, Johnny on the spot.
He's had a nice night so far.
If you're BC, do you get back to that outside run game? Because going inside the tackle, I think they can kind of answer you a little bit man for man, but you have been dominating them off tackle.
All right, Cadets change it up. They've got Stanley Smart. He'll be out of the ball game. They got Bubba Frasier in next to Stephen Cannon. Twins here to the short side. 1 receiver up top. Here's the snap. Stephen going to give it to Bubba Frasier. Bubba trying to make a man miss. Boy, just a stiff arm for no end, and he'll get maybe a couple of yards, but boy, Bubba held that stiff arm for about 10 feet there.
Yeah, and the defender held on to his chest for the entire time, too. That was just mano a mano for nothing.
So second down here for BC. Ball officially at the Warner Robbins 49.
That's one of those ones when Bubba Frasier's catching touchdowns in Notre Dame Stadium, that guy's going to be able to be like, man, I wrapped him up.
4 wides for the Cadets here on 2nd and 10. Everybody up close for Warner Robbins. Here's a throw. Cannon caught. Josh Washington and out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Going to be a couple yards short to bring up 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, that's just the Benedictine special right there, where if you're going to play off coverage, they have the ability to get to that whenever they want to. Just a little stop route from Josh Washington about 4 yards downfield. He puts his shoulder into the DB's chest and pushes him forward for another 5. Now you have 3rd and very manageable.
And Christian, everybody from Warner Robbins defensively within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. So no deep safety, nobody cheating back.
And I think you got 2 downs here, so I would not be surprised if you see a big play action here and something deep.
Yeah, trips to the left. Everybody up tight for
no
Warner
safety
Robbins.
help.
Within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Here's the snap. Cannon going to pull it, going to try to run it himself, try to get to the outside. A flag comes in way outside. Cannon will have the first down and more off the right sideline and knocked out of bounds, and that should be a late hit. But a flag already out. I think they'll get Aaron Mallard for a hold on the wide side. But then,
almost immediately.
And that kind of hurts because Steven took a late shot out of bounds.
Yeah, Stephen Cannon was flying. They had it stopped dead to rights in the backfield, and he just outran the defensive end to the edge and turned on the burners. But I think you're going to
Steven's saying it's against Warner Robbins, so they'll take the play.
One thing I can imagine there was they called defensive holding because they put Aaron in motion, and that the DB grabbed onto him even though it was a run play.
It's a first down. BC Brothers moving the chains, first down. All the way down to the Warner Robbins 17. Here's the snap. Cannon going to keep it. He'll pump fake underneath. Oh, what a move there. The 15, 10, 5. Steven still on his feet. Knocked down at the 2. Ooh, that was a big league fake. Yeah. And he just tucked it right inside. It's going to be 1st and goal.
Yeah, he gave him the old Vince Young right there and just showed him the football. Pumped at a guy who wasn't even there. But if you're a defender, you're jumping at it. It goes right underneath him for another big first down. We talked about Stephen Cannon's legs before this game, and they are really paying dividends for the Cadets right now.
Another BC Brothers moving the chains. First down, 1st and goal. They're going to say his knee touched up at the 3, so 1st and goal from there.
You got Isaac Scott at fullback, Cam Cody at tight end.
Here's Cannon under center. They'll give it Bubba Frasier, tail of that eye, and Bubba's going to get stood up. And as you said, Christian, I think maybe you got to play off of that because teams – I think at this point, no. When you go jumbo, you're going to give it to the tail there.
And Warner Robbins is one of the teams that can kind of go, again, athlete for athlete with you at the line of scrimmage, and they're just throwing some stunts at you and just completely selling out to stop the run when you go to these formations. So if it's kind of spread to run maybe against this defense, and then if you go to these tight formations, play action off of it.
Only 1 wide receiver.
Do we see maybe with the play we saw last week for the 2-point conversion?
Here's the snap. They'll play action from Bubba. There it is. Wide open in the end zone. That is Bennett Conaway. Great call, Christian Goeckel. Touchdown. Fire the cannons. Down there in the end zone.
There it is.
There we go. We're getting on the same page.
And, Kevin, if I see it, A.J. DePhillips sees it, and you have that one ready to go. It's a great play call. You just sneak the tight end out there.
And he was wide open in the back of the end zone. And here's Parker Lewis to try to make it 26-0.
And it almost looked like the old hobnail boot play.
So here is Parker Lewis for the point after. And now what do we have? Back judge running in.
I think they had a defensive tackle lined up right over the
Now they clear out of there.
Which we're not allowed to do.
So the point after for Parker Lewis. The kick is up, and it is right through there and good. 26-0. Benedictine all out in front. We're coming right back. This is Cadets football presented by Cash and Carry.
Cool Vibes Pizza and Wings is one of Savannah's most popular. Could be the New York style pizza, or the pasta, or sandwiches, or wings. Whatever you choose, Cool Vibes has their own unique style. Check them out at 4501 Montgomery Street, Savannah. As the world's largest lifestyle retailer of recreational boats and yachts, Marine Max is dedicated to connecting people with life-changing experiences on the water. More than just a boat retailer, Marine Max offers a complete range of services. 3518 Old Tybee Road, Thunderbolt, and online at marinemax.com.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. Cadets out in front 26-0. And they are dominating in a number of fashions tonight here, Christian Goeckel.
Yeah, what's so impressive to me about that touchdown is the fact that you have that. You have the ability to call that play, because that is a play designed for a particular situation where you're going jumbo, they're completely selling out to stop the run, and you take advantage of that. Yeah, college and NFL teams have that, but the fact that you have these dudes for 4 days a week for a couple hours after school and you're able to install that just kind of shows the program that BC has, and that was just executed to perfection right there. And the fact that now you kind of developed a tight end in the red zone, Kevin, I mean, that's a big threat that defenses have to pay attention to in their game planning for you going forward. It's not just Bubba Frasier you have to watch out for. It's not just Stanley Smart. It's not just Stephen Cannon's legs. All of a sudden, 44 sneaking out a tight end is another threat you have to pay attention to. We get a personal foul.
So John Brenton will be kicking off from the 25.
Yeah, it must have been a celebration penalty after the touchdown. Have we had a game yet without the unsportsmanlike penalty?
I don't think so.
I think Danny Brand, even if you win this game 100-0, is still going to be banging his head into his fist.
So here's John Brenton. High kick is going to come down at the 30. Demons will bring it out to the 35 and try to get a block. They kind of ran into their own man there.
By his own man.
And brought down at the 38 by his own man. And that's where Warner Robbins will take over 1st and 10. Well, the homecoming crowd getting their money's worth tonight. It's been all Benedictine.
This is kind of what you want for a homecoming game. I know every now and then you want the games where you're kind of biting your fingernails the whole time. You had that last week, is where sometimes it's cool to get everybody together and just watch a team dominate.
So let's see if the defense can continue to do just that.
Oh, we go back and look at the stats sheet for tackles. You're going to have one from an official and then one from their own kick returner, tackled his own guy.
So Warner Robbins going empty set here. On 1st down, they put Bryant back there. Still double tight ends, but they give him 3 receivers in the formation. Now they'll motion across. Here's the snap. Oh, that was almost fumbled, and that was read beautifully, and a tackle for loss all the way back at the 30-yard line. And that was LaDamian Guyton, who was not fooled on the backside of that play.
Yeah, same motion again. You go empty. You motion the wide receiver and do a quick jet sweep. Looks like the quarterback could have pulled it if he wanted to. He elects to give it, and that just kind of set his guy up for failure because Guyton set that edge. If I'm running that play, I'm not running it at 3.
It'll be 2nd down and about 17 for Warner Robbins. And that's with double tights for protection.
And their last 3 drives, Kevin, it's 2nd and 17 every single time.
So here's the snap for the Demons. Bryant looking, rolling to the near side. They throw back again. That's going to be bobbled and caught. And out back across the 30 and a nice open field tackle. I believe that's Larson Little. Going to make the tackle. No, that was, that was Wyatt Estabrook.
That was Larson. Good job by Larson Little tracking all the way back across the field to make that tackle. But, again, you motion everything to the strong side, and then you come and dump it back over the field on the short side to the running back on a screen. And he kind of bobbled it, and it froze the defense because they were waiting to see if he dropped it. And he got past the first wave, but only picked up about 3 yards. That's a great recovery from your linebacker.
Yeah, 3rd and 14 here for Warner Robbins. BC looks like they're bringing the house here.
At least showing it.
And Warner Robbins wants a timeout. They're like, no, we can't block that. We'll step aside for the timeout. Cadets up big here in the 2nd quarter. This is Cadet football on Watch BC Sports.
Criminal defense, family law, child custody, DUI, and divorce. When so much is on the line, you need expert legal representation. The one to call is Savannah's own Jonathan V. Dunn, PC, attorney at law. Voted the Thomson Reuters super lawyer consecutively since 2023 and an Avo top attorney rating of 9.7. You can count on Jonathan V. Dunn to leave no stone unturned to deliver the justice you seek. Contact 912-200-9352 or online at jvdattorney.com.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium as Warner Robbins called timeout. It'll be 3rd and 14 here for the Demons. And again, I don't know if there's 3rd and 14 in the playbook. About the only thing that really has worked, Christian, is the little QB read keeper. That's really the only play that BC's been gashed on, is kind of, as you said, that old Cam Newton Auburn play where you just read, keep it, and go.
Yeah, that midline, and it's a play you can do a few times before the defense starts to react to it. It looked like BC that time was loading up the middle to try to stop that and just going one-on-one on the back end. So maybe Warner Robbins recognized that and said, hey, let's get to a shot.
So here we go, 3rd and 14 out of the timeout. Here's the snap. Bryant looking, he's got some time, going to wind up trying to throw it deep, and it's going to be incomplete. Looking downfield for Tavon Brown, and threw it a little too far, and it'll be 4th down, and
the coaches on
Demon's going to have to punt.
Yeah, the receiver gotten past him, but you got a safety coming over the top, but the coaches for Warner Robbins begging for a penalty because we're blasting Mr. Brightside throughout the play. you gotta stop the music when the team gets set, and we just blasted right through it on that one.
Sorry.
Mr. Brightside, the 12th man.
So Demons will punt the football. Cadets will once again get great field position. Here's the snap. It's a good one. High, straight up in the air, and it's going to be fair caught.
Great job
by Mai Williams at the BC 46-yard line in traffic. So 1st and 10 for Stephen Cannon and company here.
Yeah, that was a great job by Mackay flying up there in the middle of a bunch of traffic, waving his hand for the fair catch to get that one, because, again, you just don't know where that's going to roll. It could roll for another 20 yards. It could roll and bounce off one of your guys. Great job by Mackay. And I wonder, Kevin, again, we haven't seen them go too deep before on the punt return this year. Is that just an adjustment for Warner Robbins, or is that something they're going to do going forward?
We shall see. It will be Stephen Cannon. They'll run out of the flex bone here. They got one receiver. Boy, Warner Robbins just playing so tight to the line of scrimmage.
Love to see just a big play action.
Oh, they're going to go right to him. Bubba with a move, a little out. It's going to be caught. And man miss up the left sideline, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10. You're not catching Bubba. It's a touchdown. 54 yards. Bubba Frasier put in the end zone, fire to cannons. There it goes. BC up 32-0. And that was make one man miss. And if you thought you were going to walk him down, you were sadly mistaken.
Yeah, again, we haven't seen that. That's something they installed this week. And it's just, again, I guarantee you watching tape of Warner Robbins saying, hey, if they're going to go off coverage 10 yards with no safety help over the top, we got to find a way to get it to our skill guys on the outside. And that time, Bubba Frasier able to make the guy miss on the sideline, put his foot in the ground, and you're not catching up to number 4.
Yeah, Parker Lewis with the point after puts it up, and it is right through there and good. 33-0. Christian Goeckel. Cadets continue to roll here on homecoming. We'll keep it here.
I just don't have the heart to be the network that goes commercial, one play, commercial.
You got to quit scoring in one play.
Yeah. Oh, we're making up for it. That was just back-to-back cannon shots.
And again, I here's the thing. If you're Warner Robbins, you have done not much offensively. And the Cadets are just dominating in every aspect right now.
And you wonder, too, Kevin, do you, at this point, down 33-0, you play out the last 4 minutes, see if you're able to put some points on the board, but at what point do you say, okay, we got to keep our quarterback healthy because we still are in the running to make the playoffs. We can't get him hurt trying to chase an insurmountable lead. And you just wonder if the play calling maybe reflects that going into the second half.
And for BC, obviously, it was a hard-fought game last week. If you put up more points in the final 3:49, which is certainly possible, if you get 3 and out on Warner Robbins, is it going to be the Amari Burr show
right
in the second half?
I would not doubt it because Stephen Cannon has played extremely well, but he's taken some hits.
So here is John Brenton to boot it up the left side and going to come down at the 5. Cadets trying to cover it at the 10, 12, 13-yard line, brought down by a host of Cadets, who is at number 40, leading the way. That is William Brown.
Yeah,
with the tackle.
And not making it to the end zone like you'd necessarily like, but really good hang time tonight from John Brenton. Let those guys get down there, and the returner try to stretch it out, but you got to go north and south or you're going to end up on your 13-yard line like that.
So 1st and 10 for Warner Robbins. And again, no real downfield passing game to speak of. They've tried a couple of times, just not real accurate. And then when you know you can't do that, you really can play right up on the line of scrimmage. So Bryant looking over that BC defense, Cadets. Going to walk those linebackers up tight. They'll put a receiver in motion. And now the inside, another little play action, a little bubble screen out to the left. Cadets read it well, maybe 2-3 yards up that left sideline.
Yeah, you just don't have any numbers out there with the way BC's approaching this. And you pick about 3 yards on that one, but when you throw it out there and there's 2 defenders for your 2 receivers, he's got to make somebody miss. And the way BC's tackling tonight, they're just not able to.
Warner Robbins trying to go hurry up here as they're already ready to go. Maybe trying to change the tempo on BC defensively.
When you go fast like that, you make the defense show early and don't let them get into something exotic.
They'll motion a man across the formation. Here's the snap. And quarterback keeper and BC all over that, my word. Bryant tackled by about 5 gray shirts. And I'm just going to say it was somebody on that defensive front. They were all there at the same time.
I think Cam Cody got there first. Then Isaac Scott was there to clean it up. But, I mean, you try to go back to a slow developing run play with the quarterback, and BC doing a better job of not going left and right, just getting forward about a yard and settling in. And that time he got swarmed by about 4 defensive linemen.
3rd down and 9 here for Warner Robbins. Swapping out running backs late here on the play. Here's a snap. Bryant looking over the middle. Was it caught? No. That was Larson Little. He might as well have been the receiver there. He stuck his hand in, ripped the ball out, and that'll bring up 4th down and 9, and Warner Robbins going to have to punt the football.
Yeah, Larson Little. They came back to that same play over the middle to the tight end. At that time, he was just sitting in his hip pocket, and as soon as the ball got there, he had his hand between the receiver's hands and the ball and wedged it out. And I mean, BC, if they don't take this back for a touchdown, is going to have the football at about the 30.
Yeah, punting from their own end zone or right on the goal line. Josh Washington, one of the deep backs here with Bubba. And the snap is a good one. And the kick's probably the best one of the night for Warner Robbins, and Bubba Frasier going to fair catch at the Demon 42-yard line. So great field position here for the Cadets once again. I'm just going to go off the top of my head here, Christian. I'm going to say the average starting field position for the Cadets has to be like their own 48 or something. It's
it might
been
be even
insane
better than
tonight.
that. Yeah. But I mean, that was the best punt by far of the night for Warner Robbins. So I mean, looking for positives. And if nothing else, if you got to work on stuff like BC has learned in the past, it's better to work on stuff against very good teams. Because 4 teams make it out of this 6-team region into the playoffs, and Warner Robbins is going to have their chance. You got to win 2.
Obviously, you want to be that number 1 to get a guaranteed couple of home games in the playoffs.
Stephen Cannon with a little check to Bubba Frasier.
Here's the snap. They're going to run it again. Bubba one-on-one. They'll go up the left side. Oh, my goodness. If it's on time, he caught it. Touchdown. What a throw, Stephen Cannon. 42 yards right in the breadbasket. Bubba Frasier for the touchdown.
Yeah, and that one almost got up in the Gulf Stream and overshot Bubba, but you saw him.
He just ran right by him.
He has another gear and able to catch up to that football. That was unbelievable. You saw Stephen Cannon with the check. You call it can, where they kind of look like they're putting their headphones on their head. He checked the Bubba, hit him with the can, and said, hey, we can hit this, and right by the DB for the touchdown. I mean, that's just, if you're that defensive back, you're walking to the sideline going, Coach, what are we doing, dude?
Why are you leaving me on an island? Here's Parker Lewis for the point after. And it is good. 40-0. Benedictine is rolling right now, Christian. We'll come right back. Let's take a quick break. You are listening to Cadets Football on Watch BC Sports.
Cool Vibes Pizza and Wings is one of Savannah's most popular. Could be the New York style pizza, or the pasta, or sandwiches, or wings. Whatever you choose, Cool Vibes has their own unique style. Check them out at 4501 Montgomery Street, Savannah.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. Quick score updates in region. Perry at last check was up 21-0 over Wayne. And of course, Ware beat New Hampstead last night by the score of 57-41. 32-19. So this is the third game of the region slate, and it is fully Benedictine at this point.
Hey, Kevin, 40-0 in the second quarter. It's been all three facets. Domination. You've been tackling extremely well in special teams on kickoff. You have a long field goal made as well there. Offense has been clicking. A couple drives where you stalled out a little bit. Outside of that, you haven't been stopped. And then defensively, just eating them alive, except for like 2 plays on a quarterback run up the middle. I mean, this is as well as we've seen this team play, I'd say, in a couple of years.
In all aspects, they are controlling the ball game. Here's John Britton for the 800th time here in the first half. Kicking off right to left. He will line drive it this time. It will come down at the 6 and running it back all the way across the field and tackled at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, I think John that time was trying to get the ball to the end zone, and so trying to take a little loft off of it, but instead it comes down about the 10, and you see what happens when you don't have that hang time.
Tackle was made by Landon Harris on the kick coverage. So here come the Demons. And it will be Bryant. Again, this is with double tights.
Yeah.
The entire first half, they've not been able to block anybody for the most part up front.
And Kevin, a little programming note, we'll be joined by Joseph Holguin, a captain from the 2014 state championship team at halftime.
So here is the snap to Bryant. He'll give it straight ahead to the running back. And out across the 30 to the 32 goes number 19, Dante Stubbs. And it'll bring up second down and about 3.
Yeah, false start.
Did Warren Robbins change quarterbacks? I'm trying to see. No, they did not. False start against the Demons will back them up. So they'll go from, and that's the way it goes when you're struggling, go from 2nd and 3 to 2nd and 8.
Yeah, that time quarterback tried to go faster than the rest of the offense, and nobody was set when he snapped it.
Wind just whipping around here at Memorial Stadium. Stack receivers far out to the right. Bryant looking over that cadet defense. Still about 90 seconds to go here in the first half. A little bubble screen. JoJo Sutton is all over it. He picks it up. He's going to run it in. They're going to call it a touchdown. A backwards pass fumble. He picks it up, runs it in. Head officials looking around like, what is it? Are they going to give him a touchdown?
Touchdown.
Near side official gives it a touchdown. JoJo Sutton in the paint. Fired a cannon. Here we go. I think they're running out of ammunition down there.
I mean, that was
tight.
tight.
Some more dry powder.
That was tight, but both officials, the backside official and the near side official here on the sideline for BC, called it a lateral, and no reviews in high school football. And how about that for JoJo Sutton, a guy, tough first part of the year, able to get back on the field, and now he's in the end zone.
46-0.
And heads up play by him getting there.
All we need is a special teams touchdown. You've got an offensive touchdown, defensive touchdown.
Uh-oh.
Cadets are running on somebody
Isaac
late.
Scott's like, man.
I've been running around all over, Coach. Why you put me on kick team all of a sudden?
Oh, he's been the guy.
So Parker Lewis point after. Ooh, bad snap, but he was going to put it up and in. And what do we have? Offsides against Warner Robbins. Ooh.
I don't think BC goes for this.
I think he said, do you want to take the kick, even though they blew it dead?
You can't after you blow it dead.
They're going to decline it and just kick it again. Boy, that wind is kicked up right here before the half.
I mean, we got to be getting close to historic points in the first half territory for BC.
Here's the snap. The kick is up, and I think he got it in there. 47-0, Benedictine, and there's still 1:13 left to go here in the first half. But utter domination here on homecoming tonight here for the Cadets, Christian.
Yeah, not senior night yet, but you wonder if you start getting some of the guys in who second, third team on the depth chart and the juniors and the seniors in there. A lot of times you like getting the guys who are the backups who you're going to see in the future, some live fire reps, but it's also cool when you get to see kind of those career backups, the guys who are just getting eaten alive on scout team every single day, get a chance to go out there and play. So probably what we're going to see here in the second half, get a chance to get Amari Burse at quarterback and maybe Stokes, Ford, those guys at running back who have just been unbelievable for the C team and have scored some touchdowns on varsity as well, get a chance to see them.
And you're kind of seeing some of those younger guys out here on the kick coverage now. It'll be Parker Lewis kicking off for BC. And we are just a field goal away from that Barnes score of the night.
The 50-piece.
The Barnes Restaurant 50-piece in honor of their 50th anniversary. And you can get 50 pieces of chicken for $50. We're going to get 50 points tonight, I feel it. Could we get it in the first half? Might be the question. Here's Parker Lewis. Ooh. Put a shoe into that when it comes down around the 5-yard line, and they'll run it all the way across the field to the 15. BC trying to stretch it out, and ooh, nice stick there at the 25. Number 25, it will be.
That was Ford.
Yeah, Dontre Ford with the tackle. He stuck his face right in there, Christian.
Yeah, here's your backside safety that time. Did a great job of shedding the block and getting there. If not, that guy might still be running.
And Christian, I don't know what Warner Robbins' kind of thought is and the Cadets are going to keep doing it. They kick it here to the near sideline, and immediately they run to the far sideline. And you really, like you said, you take all the time trying to go far sideline and end up with about a 7-yard return.
Well, you're trying to run the same track that Ware County ran last week against BC, but BC's made adjustments in their coverage.
So 1st and 10 here for Warner Robbins. Bryant will give it straight ahead, and after a couple of yards, Larson Little hits him out about the 30 and shoves him back. And I think for Warner Robbins, they're like, how quickly can we just get in the locker room?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to rush to snap this ball. And the play clock hasn't started yet, and this one's going to run under 40 seconds to go here before they start it. So they might have to snap it one more time before they take it in for halftime.
And let's see. Looks like they might just take a knee here. Maybe not. Yeah, one more snap here in the first half. Here's Bryant. And they'll give it. Nope, he'll keep it off the left side, and he'll turn the corner, have a first down before he's ridden out of bounds with 12 seconds. And so they'll move the chains, and I believe, Christian, that is just the third first down of the first half for Warner Robbins.
Yeah, all three on quarterback runs.
Wind is really picking up here. 11 seconds to go as Bryant out of a shotgun. Well, low snap. It's on the ground. The ball is scooped up by the running back, and that'll be a loss of about 5-6 yards. And I think for Warner Robbins, there's like, let's just go to the locker room.
I think that just about sums it up.
Yeah, and that wraps up the first half. 47-0, Christian Goeckel. We are coming right back. The Bernard Williams Insurance halftime report when we return here on Watch BC Sports.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Bernard Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
I'm Kenny Granger from Cash and Carry. We're a family-owned business right here in Savannah. We have sections of vehicles that really make it all simple. You'll get a printout of where the vehicle's at, the color of the vehicle. We really want them to be able to come in the yard and find out right where they need to be. The average savings would be at least 70, 80, could be even 90% compared to original manufactured parts. So you can come to a place like Cash and Carry and find the parts that you need at an extremely reasonable price. We'd love for you to come check us out.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium, 47-0 here at the half as we roll into our Bernard Williams Cadet halftime report. We'll talk with Joseph Holguin coming up, a member of the 2014 state championship team that was honored here tonight for homecoming. And Christian, boy, what a way to come out, and it's just the second home game of the season, but special teams, defense, offense, I know we've said it a lot, but it's the truth. BC has just simply dominated every facet.
Yeah, Kevin, and I think it started up front in that first quarter with both lines of scrimmage just pushing Warner Robbins around. Offense really dominating on the ground in the first quarter, and then you started seeing as Warner Robbins started squeezing in close to the line of scrimmage, you make the adjustment. BC starts taking shots over the top, and you get back-to-back drives where Bubba Frasier's just one catch, one touchdown. It's so difficult to stop this offense with the multitude of ways that they can beat you. And like you said, it's just been utter domination from the Cadets there in the first half.
Yeah, and again, so many different ways. And as you said, they kind of waited for Warner Robbins to come up close, and then you hit Bubba Frasier, kind of just beautifully thrown footballs from Stephen Cannon. And again, all the touchdowns tonight, seemingly the long variety. Not a lot of 2 yards in a cloud of dust.
You had the 5-yard toss to the tight end.
Well, but outside of that, it's been 40, 50, I think a 30-yard touchdown. I mean, it's been a lot of big plays tonight for this BC offense.
Yeah, and again, it's just been execution too, where we've seen the chances for those plays earlier in the year, and it's just been a hair short or just the timing a little bit off. Tonight, Stephen Cannon showing off the arm, hitting some touchdowns. Josh Washington and Stanley Smart finishing the drill on some touchdown runs where they really took advantage of some great blocking from their offensive line, and then down the field. Earlier in the game, we thought it was a wide receiver down the field blocking 40 yards, but it was your right tackle just burying a dude. So it's been really, really special to watch this offense work tonight, and I think defensively, Kevin, just as explosive.
Certainly. We've got so much more to get to here on the Bernard Williams Cadet Halftime Report. Joseph Holguin will join us when we come back. BC up big here at the half. This is the Bernard Williams Cadet Halftime Report.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Bernard Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
Bowtie Barbecue Company at 6724 Waters Avenue in Savannah serves up barbecue both familiar and new, made by hand and made with love. Family friendly and relaxed, Bowtie takes great pride in the by hand preparation of high quality beef ribs, smoked chicken, pork spare ribs, and more. Come join the Bowtie family. Ask about our food truck and catering too. Bowtie Barbecue Company, Southern charm naturally. Look for them online at bowtiebarbecueco.com.
Welcome back here at the half. Bernard Williams Cadet Halftime Report. Halftime and homecoming festivities taking place with the homecoming court walking out on the field. We are pleased to be joined here at the half by a member of the 2014 state championship cadet football team, Joseph Holguin, who joins us here on the halftime report. And Joseph, you were like, man, it feels good to be back on Friday nights. Hard to believe. Christian and I both said it made us feel old. I remember doing some of those games for you guys way back when, and it's like, man, that was 11 years ago already. But talk about the Friday night lights here for BC.
Yeah, there's just something about coming back and hearing that cannon go off, the fight song, and seeing the student section go a little wild. You know, some things never change, but I think how this football team is playing and looking, things have drastically changed in the last 11 years, and in the best way possible. It's great to be out here and seeing kind of how the hard work, not only with all the players, but also the coaches. It's just really cool to see all of that hard work pay off and seeing everything come to fruition, because there was a lot of people that came before us as well. I mean, that state championship team was certainly something, but there was a lot of good players, a lot of good coaching and coaches that you know, build up to that moment. So it's great to be back.
And certainly you had a tremendous football team there in 2014, winning it in the now dismantled Georgia Dome for the state championship. But speak to that season and what that was like, just preparing for that season. At what point did you guys as a team start to think, you know what, we might be able to do this thing and bring home the state championship?
Yeah, I mean, I think BC's kind of doing it right now, but at the time, we didn't have as many out-of-conference games. But if you remember, we started that season off with GAC, and we lost a pretty close one. But I think for us to go up to an Atlanta big school and kind of hold our own, lose by 3 points, and it was a good opportunity for us to kind of see where we stood in comparison to everybody else in the state. And after that moment, it was like, oh, we got this. If we just lean into what the coaches are telling us, I think we got a chance to do something special here, and that's what happened.
And talk about your teammates from that run. A lot of guys who obviously yourself and then made a lot of great plays, but just speak to some of those guys you played ball with here at BC.
Oh, yeah, man. Those are lifelong brothers of mine. Goes without saying, the BC Brotherhood runs strong, but no, we stay in touch. We follow each other. There was a couple of us that kept playing after high school, and it was good to stay in contact, root for each other. And there's just a bond that's kind of you can't really speak about and really explain to people. It's just one of those things you know when you're a part of. And it's great when you get an opportunity like this to come back. It's our 10-year anniversary, a reunion, and it's so fun to get back and seeing how everybody's doing and reminiscing on some stories, talking about, just the funny things that went into where this program is at now. It's just hilarious to think about. It really is.
As you said, that was, I think, year 4 for Coach Britt at BC, and to see where, as you said, it's this program's been to Miami and played a football game, won a couple more state championships. As you said, that was still kind of new to the program when you were playing for Coach Britt. What was it like playing for Coach Britt? And as you look back and now say, hey, we did kind of start that second wave of BC football to what it's kind of turned into.
Yeah, Coach Britt, I mean, I've been around a lot of coaching. He is one of a kind. He's very unique in the way that he goes about his business. It's the little things, it's day one things that he focuses on, but it's also the big picture and not only how you become a good football player, but how you really hold yourself accountable on and off the field. And just, I mean, it's discipline, it's hard work, it's everything. And I feel like he does a great job of it, instilling that into you. And I feel like I still hold some of those virtues pretty close to my heart these days. He just does a great job at molding young men into becoming great athletes, but also great men. So
Joseph Olguin, our guest here at the half, and I ask everybody that we get a chance to talk about, but what does BC kind of mean to you? And it's a unique place where people revere it so much. It's as you said, it's whether you graduated in 2014, 2024, or I mean for BC 1944. It goes back. There is that connection there, and it's. I didn't have that at my high school when I graduated. What does it kind of mean to you to be from here and just that experience in your time at Benedictine?
Yeah, it's kind of like fine wine. You don't appreciate it until a couple years later. But once you graduate and you see how close this community is and how far people are willing to go just to kind of make sure that you're in the right spot, they'll bend over backwards and give the shirt off their back to you. It really is a brotherhood that extends far beyond Savannah, Georgia. And it goes far beyond the high school years, and it almost becomes more valuable as time goes on. And it's just extreme. I'm extremely fortunate that my family sent me here and gave me this opportunity to meet so many people, because it's not just my class of the people I went to high school with, but it's the people that went before and the people that went after. It's just a brotherhood that you can always rely on wherever you're at, whenever you need it. You can call upon them and they'll answer the call. So that's really cool to know.
Well, Joseph, tell us what you're up to these days. 11 years or 10 years? You said y'all are celebrating 10-year graduation. What have you been up to? What are you doing?
I'm in Charlotte right now. I'm an attorney in Charlotte, and I actually, it's funny enough, we had our Charlotte Alumni BC event not but 2 weeks ago, and that was really cool. We had a handful of guys, but 2 from 2015 and a couple from 2003. And it's just really cool to, kind of go back and talk about Colonel Owens, talk about the hallways and what was going on. What were people getting bushed? What was going on? So it's good to still be able to see the people that I grew up with around Charlotte. Like I said, the brotherhood is so far extended. It's not just Savannah. It's really cool to kind of see that in person. But no, I'm in Charlotte. But it's always good to come back to Savannah, see what home's up to, and man, it is amazing to see what this city's doing and what BC's doing in it. So it's awesome.
Yeah, 47-0 here at the half. A big win over Ware County last week. Man, what you look at this team and kind of what Buford and Colquitt to start the season. It's been quite the run already. What do you see for this team as they kind of hit that final stretch of the regular season?
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, it's really good to get out of the water, so to speak, and play some out of conference games and just see kind of how you level out with everybody else. But I think what this team's got to focus on is just staying within themselves, focus on each game, win the region, get a home game in the playoffs, and that's all you can do. You get a home game back here with this crowd, you got a dang good chance to win a game. And so hopefully we can ride that out. But the sky's the limit with these athletes. It's amazing to see how many great players are on this team, how many great coaches are there just helping them out. I really think if everybody stays healthy, they can do whatever they want this year.
I know you've been gone a while. A lot of this looked familiar offensively. Could you get out there and run some of this stuff? Right?
Yeah, I don't know. I might have been enjoying the sidelines a little bit more if I were on this team. But no, it's really cool to see these guys. I know Coach Britt's putting them to work. It looks like they're staying in the weight room, which is always good to see. And no, there's some speed out there, to say the least. There's some speed.
Joseph Holkeen, our guest here on the Bernard Williams Halftime Report. Joseph, really appreciate you coming up and stopping by. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Joseph Holkeen, our guest. We're coming right back with more of the Bernard Williams Halftime Report here on Watch BC Sports.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Bernard Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the Shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
Bowtie Barbecue Company at 6724 Waters Avenue in Savannah serves up barbecue both familiar and new, made by hand and made with love. Family friendly and relaxed, Bowtie takes great pride in the by hand preparation of high quality beef ribs, smoked chicken, pork spare ribs, and more. Come join the Bowtie family. Ask about our food truck and catering too. Bowtie Barbecue Company, Southern charm naturally. Look for them online at bowtiebbq.co.
I'm Kenny Granger from Cash and Carry. We're a family-owned business right here in Savannah. We have sections of vehicles that really make it all simple. You'll get a printout of where the vehicle's at, the color of the vehicle. We really want them to be able to come in the yard and find out right where they need to be. The average savings would be at least 70, 80, could be even 90% compared to original manufactured parts. So you can come to a place like Cash and Carry and find the parts that you need at an extremely reasonable price. We'd love for you to come check us out.
The honor, the heritage, the tradition of excellence. The home for Benedictine Cadets football is WatchBCSports.com. All the games, play-by-play, and in-depth analysis. Home of the Danny Britt Show. Be a part of the action as your Benedictine Cadets take the field in their quest for yet another championship. On the official home of the Cadets, WatchBCSports.com. And look for us on Facebook and Instagram at WatchBC Sports.
Welcome back here at the half. Christian Goeckel, 47-0. Good to catch up with Joseph Holkeen. And again, you're on a great team. Stevie Powers, Brad Stewart, he was a great player. Joseph was. And again, as he said, he goes, we were good. We might have had trouble with this bunch. I know he was being humble. They were a tremendous football team. But I think we were even talking, I think what makes it different from even that squad is you had a lot of guys who were playing both ways for BC, and they simply don't have to do that with too many guys right now.
Oh, 100%. Answer a quick question. Miss Mills Smith from St. Vincent's Academy wins your homecoming queen for this year, so cool to see that. It always cracks me up. because you have a bunch of football players who are on the homecoming court as well. Danny Brett's not going to let them not be in there for the halftime breakdown, getting some film and some huddle tape. So they have their stand-ins down there. So I'm like, wow, Josh Washington looks a little different, a little shorter. Cam Cody looks a little different, a little shorter, a little trimmer out there in a suit. But, no, really cool to see and out there honoring a bunch of different classes right now, Kevin. But, yeah, this group's a different level right now.
We are at the half, 47-0. The Cadets are out in front. We will come back, Christian Goeckel, in just a little bit with more of the halftime report right after this here on Watch BC Sports.
Barnes Restaurant is celebrating 50 years of serving Savannah, offering these delicious, money-saving takeout specials.
20-piece hand-breaded chicken finger basket for only $19.75. 12 pieces fried or rotisserie chicken for only $19.75. And feed a large group quick with our 50-piece fried or rotisserie chicken for just $50.
Call ahead for faster service or order online at barnesrestaurant.com.
BC Brothers Moving is Savannah's most trusted moving service. From residential to commercial to packing supplies, BC Brothers does it all. Let BC Brothers' energetic, trustworthy team wrap it, pack it, and move it for you. Check out BC Brothers online at bcbrothersmoving.com or give them a like on Facebook. Criminal defense, family law, child custody, DUI, and divorce. When so much is on the line, you need expert legal representation. The one to call is Savannah's own Jonathan V. Dunn, PC, attorney at law. Voted the Thomson Reuters super lawyer consecutively since 2023 and an Avo top attorney rating of 9.7. You can count on Jonathan V. Dunn to leave no stone unturned to deliver the justice you seek. Contact 912-200-9352 or online at jvdattorney.com.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Bernard Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
I'm Kenny Granger from Cash and Carry. We're a family-owned business right here in Savannah. We have sections of vehicles that really make it all simple. You'll get a printout of where the vehicle's at, the color of the vehicle. We really want them to be able to come in the yard and find out right where they need to be. The average savings would be at least 70, 80, could be even 90% compared to original manufactured parts. So you can come to a place like Cash and Carry and find the parts that you need at an extremely reasonable price. We'd love for you to come check us out.
Welcome to Sandnat Golf Carts, where luxury meets quality. We offer a wide selection of top-notch custom golf carts to suit your every need. With our extensive inventory, you're sure to find the ride of your dreams. Plus, our flexible financing options make it easier than ever to drive one off the lot today. Whether you're cruising the neighborhood or joyriding with the family, Sandnat Golf Carts is here to provide exceptional service every step of the way. Visit us today to elevate your ride.
Criminal defense, family law, child custody, DUI, and divorce. When so much is on the line, you need expert legal representation. The one to call is Savannah's own Jonathan V. Dunn, PC, attorney at law. Voted the Thomson Reuters super lawyer consecutively since 2023 and an Avo top attorney rating of 9.7. You can count on Jonathan V. Dunn to leave no stone unturned to deliver the justice you seek. Contact 912-200-9352 or online at jvdattorney.com.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. We are wrapping up the half here. The Bernard Williams Cadet halftime report. Cadets way out in front. Christian, we just confirmed with A.J. DePhillips on his way back up here to the press box. They will have running clock in the second half, which if you've been a part of some of these recently with BC, change of possession, whatever, out of bounds, incomplete. It just, clock just keeps right on rolling along here. So a pretty quick second half upcoming, and probably a bigger question, who all will we see in this second half?
Yeah, and I know just a little behind the scenes here, Kevin, offensive staff struggling to get back in their press box because Memorial Stadium hasn't locked. So waiting for somebody from the stadium to get up here. A.J. DePhillips might be signaling in here on this first drive, but like you said.
Just give it to somebody.
Yeah, it's going to be a really fast second half here, literally 24 minutes here in the second half because running clock from the word go here, and really curious who we get to see out there. I know we saw Amari and Thomas Brennan at quarterback this past week against, or 2 weeks ago, against Westminster. So really excited to see who we get to see out there because you got a bunch of guys who work really hard every week who don't necessarily get to play. We're going to get a chance here in the second half.
That'll do it for the Bernard Williams halftime report. Cadets are back out on the field. They will kick it off they will get the ball first.
That's it.
To start the second half. And I already can tell on kick team, you've got Dontre Ford and some others that are going to be back here too. Yeah, it's going to be Dontre Ford and see who goes back there with him, Christian. Looks like Damari Perry. So Ford and Perry back deep here for the Cadets. And Warner Robbins set to kick it off as we get things underway here. Again, running clock in the second half for this ball game. Cadets, again, have dominated in all aspects of the football game. And they try to onside kick, and the Cadets going to lose a helmet. And they're going to come up with a football at the 48. And how do you respond kind of to that? An onside kick down 47. And here comes the Cadets offense. It'll be led by Amari Burst. And Christian, do you take exception to an onside kick up 47-0 from the other team? Or?
No, just with the way the wind's been blowing, you're not really able to get it to the end zone either way. So
it is Amari Burst with the first unit here, Christian. He is he's the only backup out there at the moment. He's in a shotgun with 4 wide. He'll take the snap. Amari looking here to the near side, flings it, tipped and out of bounds. He was looking for Cole Henderson here on the near sideline. It'll be 2nd and 10.
If I had to imagine, we're going to see this unit with Amari for one more, maybe 2 more drives, then you'll get them out of there and get some backups in. But again, a lot of times you see it because you don't want to go wholesale 11 new guys in there you slowly start to filter guys. Bubba Frasier comes off the field now, and Karan Hall steps in. So, I mean, it's going to be a few different guys out there as they slowly start to change this out.
They'll go under center here out of the flex bone, and they'll give it on the end around,
Great
coming
block.
back here to the near side, and there it goes, 40, 30, 25, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Is that Stanley Smart?
No, I think.
Or is that Cole Henderson?
That's Cole Henderson. Stanley Smart was the lead blocker on that play and just nailed the linebacker on the inside. Touchdown.
Yeah, Cole Henderson. Boy, he turned on the Jets.
Oh, he's fast, man. And, again, Stanley Smart just delivering an absolute blast in there at fullback to the linebacker, and once that cleared, it was a touchdown. Almost like an ISO play out of an I formation. You just motion that wing back. He takes it, bam, immediately hits the hole.
And it will be Parker Lewis for the point after it. I will say, I did mention this. That is a Barnes Restaurant touchdown. Why? Because we're at a 50-piece.
50 burger.
53, Hugh Barnes up here with us at the half. And, again, 50 points. I literally did it just for him in honor of 50
That's
years at Barnes Restaurant. 50 pieces of chicken, $50, 50 chicken fingers, $50, 5 pounds of barbecue, $50, and a timeout. BC, they can't get the kick unit right. That's going to drive Danny Britt nuts.
So we lied to you. There is going to be a stop.
I apologize. It was unforeseen that there would be a timeout called on the extra point. 53-0 Christian Goeckel, and that's how you draw it up.
We got to get with Jack Holland about what's the all-time record for that, because we're getting there in terms of points scored.
And again, good to see. That was Cole Henderson. You could sell the offensive staff fired up. And Christian, you talk about, the coaches just want to, see certain guys do this or that. And I'm not saying that's all, but sometimes you say that. It's like, why don't you give it to this guy?
Yeah.
And when Cole Henderson took off, A.J. DePhillips stood up and beat on the windows like he would if he did something.
Yeah.
He was like generally excited to see Cole get in the end zone. So here's the point after. Parker Lewis drives it through there, and it's good. 54-0. And the route, needless to say, continues. And now if you're Danny Britt and company, even if you wholesale change, selfishly, you're like, we want the shutout.
Oh, yeah, and that's the message I guarantee you at halftime was, hey, you guys are going in there. Your guys, your first unit went out there, put a big goose egg up there on the scoreboard. Don't be the team that lets it up. And this team has depth, and if I had to imagine, what you're going to see is same thing we just saw. Majority of your starters go out there for a couple of plays, and then one or two guys at a time start rotating them.
So it's mostly backups on the kick unit here. It'll be John Britton looking like to kick it off.
Yeah, and if you're Britton here, you got to put some hang time on this kick to give your guys a chance to run down there and make a play.
And just eyeballing it, this is mostly underclassmen and JV guys here on the kick coverage. But again, the only one I've seen get a lot of, or at least a notable amount of varsity time is Caden Thomas, number
BC
17.
rolls everybody in practice together, so you're playing with these units, and this is a group of guys that practices with the varsity every day, but also they go out there and they execute on the C team, so they're not unfamiliar with being next to these guys out there, and they're very familiar with their roles.
So here is John Britton to kick it off right to left. And he will drive it up the hash, and it will come down about the 7-yard line. And Warner Robbins are going to stay here on the near side to make a man miss. 25-30, and
Look at Big John.
John Britton will shove him out of bounds at about the 35, 36-yard line. And that's where Warner Robbins will take over. Again, clock continues to roll. And so even on change of possession like this, you'll pretty much give up 45 seconds to a minute just waiting for everybody to switch over.
And really only going to be stopped for injuries and timeouts by the coaching staff.
And again,
it looks like the first unit's out there.
Yeah, first team defense is out there. And as you said, your best case scenario, 3 and out and get them off the field. I know you say, well, why are they even doing it now? It's like, it's the whole come out of the locker room and keep the intensity up kind of thing that you try to hammer home to your team.
You just also want to get snaps. This live fire snaps are so important.
So here's the snap straight ahead give. BC going to read that nicely. And Gavin Smith and Larson Little, a whole bunch of others going to stack it up. New quarterback in. It's Ellison Dantes 5'11", 152-pound junior in there at quarterback for the Demons.
And what I love that time is just unselfish play there from LaDamian Guyton and Isaac Scott, your two edge guys. They both just get up there, get in the chin of the guy trying to block him and set that edge and hold it. They're not trying to shoot upfield. They're doing their job.
High snap. Looking, Dante's going to throw near side. It's going to be caught and out of bounds. Gain of about 3 on the play. It'll bring up third down.
Yeah, Wyatt Esbrick right in phase right there. So it was a tight window, only able to pick up a couple of yards. So BC 3rd and 5 right here. I'd say you got to be watching out for everything because they got a really jittery back in 19. Quarterback looks like he's got a live arm, and they've shown the propensity for a quarterback run. So just eye discipline here for the Cadets, and they're sticking with that first-team unit so far.
Nobody rotating in just yet off the sideline. 3rd down and 5. And low snap is rolled back in the backfield, and a huge loss.
Oh, he hasn't got it yet.
Is the ball still loose? I think the Cadets may have come up with it. No.
I think 4 Cadets missed it, and it just rolled into the belly of offensive lineman. But either way, about a 20-yard loss.
All the way back to the 25. They need the 48 for a first down.
I mean, that's just got to be so frustrating for the offensive staff is you can't get the snap right. And I get it. I mean, Jameer Lee is right in my face as I'm trying to snap the football. I'd probably be a little bit nervous too, but, man, you got to get the snap back to the quarterback. That one just down by his ankles.
So now a punt upcoming for Warner Robbins. And a snap is good. And the kick, a good punt there. Going to chase the Cadets back to their 48-yard line. Catch made by Mai Williams.
I know it seems like a silly thing, and it won't even show up as a stat, but Mai Williams flying up there to get those fair catches. I wonder if that's an adjustment. I'd be curious to ask Danny Britt about that in the postgame show, but is this something we're going to see going forward with both Mackay and Bubba back there just to save yardage? Because you have one guy back, he's got to cover the whole field to go up there and try to fair catch it versus kind of like playing like a safety. You split it in half and have those guys fly up there and make that fair catch. It takes away an extra blocker potentially from you, but you're saving so many yards on balls that hit the ground.
So let's see. It looks like trying to see who's in the huddle here on the near sideline. Stephen Cannon's got his helmet off, so obviously his night has been done. And it looks like you're going to get a bunch of second unit guys out there. Trying to see some of these offensive linemen. Looks like David Ongiri going to be out there. Trying to look in that huddle and kind of see who's coming in here. Christian. Sophomore Finn Kelly, number 52, going to get some snaps.
And you feel very confident saying Amari Burris, the future of the position at quarterback for the Cadets once Stephen Cannon moves on to Texas Tech. But I'm excited, Kevin. Maybe Amari puts up a couple more touchdowns. Love seeing number 19, Thomas Brennan, get a chance to get out there. Just him and that unit. You get all the freshmen and the sophomores out there together rolling. They're the guys who practice together. It's fun to watch them just operate under center with those old school Cadet plays.
Everett Nelson out there at right tackle. And at the tail of the formation is going to be Damari Perry as they go flex bone. They'll give it on the end around, coming here to the near side and maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Let's see who they gave that to that time. Christian getting up outside of another tuck jersey. I want to say that might be Stuart Dunn, maybe. Yeah, Stuart Dunn.
Spread them out here.
So they'll put Amari in a gun here on 2nd and 10.
I think we're fully backups now.
Amari, they're going to run a little underneath screen. That is
it's set up.
Hall is set up. He's at the 45-40, cuts back outside 35-30, and tackled from behind at the 25. And that was just a little comeback bubble screen. And once he caught it, Christian, the seas parted in the big hole for Karan Hall.
Yeah, a little tunnel screen. Really cool to see Amari be patient and let that one set up. And great job by that second group of offensive linemen releasing and getting downfield. And just a guy tracking back from behind, making the tackle, or that's 6.
Looks like you got Griffin Ward in at tight end. So you've got a lot of second unit in there. And they'll counter back inside and right up the middle inside, down inside the 20 to the 19. That is Dontre Ford, and that's the name we're going to hear a lot of moving forward.
And obviously the first team has practiced this formation a whole bunch, but this is the base. This is what BC kind of builds their offense on, is the 4 wide and then under center that flex bone. And it almost feels a little bit smoother when you see these guys get in there because this is what they're running over and over and over again.
Here's the snap. They'll counter back here to the near side, and that's going to be Perry. Still on his feet, tripped up around the 10. That'll be a BC Brothers moving the chains, first down. And the offensive staff for BC is already headed down to the sideline, so I think A.J. DePhillips not calling the plays right now.
Right.
Christian?
Yeah, I think that was Dauntre Ford that time, actually. It's 2-5. You got the jersey rolled up, but just a little counter tray, and they come back underneath. Put him in motion.
Put him in motion. They'll try to get it to Ford, and he'll get strung out. Oh, is he going to get out of there? No. Couldn't quite escape the mitts. He's going to get tackled for a loss back at the 17. And so now here's where A.J. DePhillips has kind of handed over play calling here for.
Yeah, and I think it's Coach Collins. He's the head coach for the C team, and they're letting him call the plays. And he calls the plays for, again, the C team.
So it'll be second down and goal from the 16-yard line. Here's Amari, a little flare out pass into flat. Oh, making mid-miss. This is, still on his feet. Stuart Dunn shoved out of bounds.
Yeah, lost about 3, and BC's lucky he held on to it because that was a lateral.
That was good concentration by him. Clock continues to roll, already down towards 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter, but still going to get a lot of snaps with these guys. Burst out of a shotgun, twins to either side. They'll put Ford in motion. Burst looks, kind of throw back, steps up, throws one towards the end zone. Ball comes back for us. Oh, touchdown! Boy, probably got interfered with coming back to the football and still caught it for a touchdown, and it's 60-0. Benedictine over Warner Robbins.
Yeah, it's just a great job fighting back through. Like you said, Kevin, I'm surprised the flag doesn't come out. I think the pitcher probably throws it if he doesn't catch it. But, I mean, just getting manhandled. A good job by Amari, stepping up in the pocket and waiting for him to kind of breathe and get his eyes back at him. That was a great job.
So Parker Lewis to try to make it 61-0.
I'm not going to say who, but a cadet down on the field that was with the first team, a little excited in the celebration, came down on that ankle a little funny, and it's like, okay, dude, we can't be jumping up and down on the celebrating.
61-0, Christian, and then the second unit goes right down the field. And invaluable reps, not just for Amari and some of the SEAL guys, but you got the whole second unit offensive line, and you say, well, what does that make? Most of the guys you have on the first team are juniors and sophomores. Right. These guys are sophomores and freshmen. You're talking about next year and the year after having very experienced offensive lines all of a sudden.
Yeah, and again, guys who are getting used to their positions but just getting more and more valuable game reps. And I guess a lot of their first-team guys out there. And, I mean, for Hall last year, how many times did we see him get to position, just couldn't hold on to the football, that time fighting through a defender to make a contested catch. That's the kind of stuff you've been waiting for him to see. He's got that long basketball body. Just him coming back and being a possession receiver, it's got to be exciting for this coaching staff.
So here is John Brenton. He's got to be just as tired as everybody else.
Nah, he's used to it. Soccer player. 40-minute halves. No timeouts.
So clock continues to roll here in the third. And Brenton ready to go. And he will pooch it up in the air. It's going to be short down around the 25. Good coverage by BC. Can they make a tackle? No. And fortunately, the man slipped down. That was Tavon Brown. If he'd have stayed on his feet, Christian might have had a lot of running room coming back here to the near sideline.
Yeah, again, kind of ran into his own guy, and that's the problem when you have those three guys back there on the same line. They have trouble getting out of each other's own way.
And now we've got a full second unit out there on defense, Christian. Reed Brennan. Looks like out there at linebacker, you got number 23, Rasheen Jackson, who's seen some snaps and some varsity action. big time this year. Now here's the snap. It was high. Boy, brought it down. They're going to try to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. He's going to be – it gets out of the sack. And running up the left side and out of bounds for about a 5-yard gain. And, boy, they had him all wrapped up back at the 17 and could not hang on. Couldn't see who it was back there. You got to turn to us so we can – is that number 12?
I think it was Caden Thomas, 17. We got his hands on him. But I thought it was a really good job by the secondary. They kind of ran a switch route right there trying to take advantage of a young secondary, and BC just ran stride for stride with them, and that's what opened it up. Obviously, the quarterback gets out for a 5-yard gain, but, I mean, BC had that
12,
shut down.
Ben Kleinpeter was back there as well. And that'll do it for the third quarter. We're coming right back. Running clock, BC all out in front, 61-0. This is Cadets football presented by Cash and Carry.
As the world's largest lifestyle retailer of recreational boats and yachts, MarineMax is dedicated to connecting people with life-changing experiences on the water. More than just a boat retailer, MarineMax offers a complete range of services. 3518 Old Tybee Road, Thunderbolt, and online at marinemax.com. Bowtie Barbecue Company at 6724 Waters Avenue in Savannah serves up barbecue both familiar and new. Made by hand and made with love. Family friendly and relaxed, Bowtie takes great pride in the by hand preparation of high quality beef ribs, smoked chicken, pork spare ribs, and more. Come join the Bowtie family. Ask about our food truck and catering too. Bowtie Barbecue Company. Southern charm naturally. Look for them online at bowtiebarbecueco.com.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. 2014 state championship team being recognized here in the far end zone. And Christian, what a team that was. Danny Britt's fourth year, so these guys would have been freshmen when Danny Britt got the job. And that was talking about setting the standard. We talked about it at half with Joseph Holguin. He said, look, it kind of feels like you should be doing these things. He's like, well, we were there. It wasn't necessarily the case. We were trying to build something. And then because they played Greater Atlanta Christian in week number 1, they, of course, were led by Ralph Abernathy IV, who ended up going to Tennessee and then got the comeuppance to play them again in the state championship game and beat them for the state championship.
Yeah, and it's the first team is just always going to have a special place in everyone's heart. It doesn't matter what school you're at. When they win that championship after such a long drought, it's just always going to be a team that you got the pictures up and you remember fondly, and really cool to see those guys coming back 11 years later,
yes.
Kevin.
Makes you feel old.
It's 15 years of Danny Britt football.
So it'll be 2nd and 5 for Warner Robbins as we start the fourth quarter. They will be working right to left. Cadets, obviously, conversely, will be left to right. And most of the second, third, and probably farther down than that getting some playing time here tonight. It will be a running clock once we get going here in the fourth quarter. But this has got to be one after the game last week. Danny Britt's got to look at this and go, fellas, way to come out and answer the call against Warner Robbins and not kind of fiddle around and turn the ball over and kind of do some things that show you didn't have the focus.
Yeah, and again, you look at stuff like this, you're like, man, 47-0 in the first half. Is there anything that you're going to correct? But I guarantee you there's stuff they're going to look at with defensive backs saying, hey, when we're in zone right here, you got to reroute the wide receiver. You can't give him a free release. And talking to the offensive lineman like, hey, yeah, we got to this guy, but you got to make sure you pinch down and get to the next level. There's always stuff to coach from this tape, but, man, it's just one of those ones where you're going to walk in to watch tape like, oh.
This will be a fun film session. So 2nd down and 5. Here's the snap. BC trying to force the pocket, and quarterback rolling here to the near side and going to be tackled. Nice open field tackle, but not before he gets the first down. That's made by Rasheen Jackson. And that's going to be enough to move the Shanes.
Yeah, quarterback's got a little bit of wiggle to him, and nice job navigating the pocket, stepping up and picking up the first down right there. But like you said, good job tracking back from the inside linebacker for the Cadets and making that tackle.
So Dante's the quarterback now for Warner Robbins, as they've made a change there as well. I think they still got some of their starters in there, but a number of second unit. Oh, snap and fumbled the football. The ball is still loose, picked up, and does BC get it? No. Warner Robbins going to fall back on it, but not before losing 2 back to the 40.
And you see some running shotgun teams do this where the quarterback, when he takes the snap, will almost hide down behind the line and it just kind of changes the line of sight for the linebackers right there. But that's the second time they've done it. It's the second time the football's been on the ground. I don't know if I want to get too fancy with my backup quarterback in there with 0 points on the board.
So Cadets trying to preserve the shutout at 2nd and 12 from the Warner Robbins 40. Cadets showing some pressure. Dantas takes the snap on a straight drop. Looking, flushed out of the pocket
Lee.
And couldn't quite get to him. Flush kind of bumming near way and tackled from behind. Maybe gets a half yard. And going to be brought down by Caden Thomas, number 17.
Yeah, Danny Brett talking this week just about those first 4 defensive linemen, and Jameer Lee's one of them, and he's still out there on the field. And he said Jameer Lee just has that pass rush tendency where he can get into the backfield from the inside, which just collapsing the pocket on a passing down is just so valuable for a defense to have. And that time Jameer Lee ripped right through the guard and center that was in the quarterback's face almost as soon as the ball was in his hands.
Carson Granger on the D-line up there next to him. I know they're excited about what he can grow into as well.
Big kid. And he's in that 4-point stance right over the center.
And Warner Robbins, I think, wants a timeout here on 3rd and 11, down 61-0. But hey, as coaches will like to say, you got to keep coaching. Don't quit coaching just because the backups are in there.
Right.
You get better as a program getting on those guys as hard as you do the first teamers. And good to see. We've seen it all night long. Christian, especially now that they're out of the game. Huddle comes to the near sideline. Cam Cody, LaDamian Guyton, Josh Washington, Bubba Frasier, they're in there in that defensive huddle. First guys to meet that offense when they came off, Stanley Smart and Stephen Cannon.
Right.
They were both standing right there like, hey, that's the way to go out there and move the football.
And we were talking about it earlier. It's just these guys all practice together. So when the Cam Codys and the Stephen Cannons get done with their groups, they're turning around and watching their backups go through the same reps. So you know they're fired up to see these guys get a chance to go out there and play.
So it'll be 3rd and 11. Coming out of this timeout, clock will stop. And both teams, ironically, have had to use timeouts with the running clock. And sometimes you say, well, why would you do it? It's like, I think just, hey, let's settle down and run something here and not let 4.5 minutes run off the clock while we're trying to stand around and figure out how to get lined up.
Yeah, I'm just not curious what you see there on that 3rd down, but maybe just trying to draw something up to stay on the field here. I mean, you got your backup quarterback in there already. You replace your running back. Curious what the conversation is.
A lot of young guys to be excited about. I know he's in street clothes or has the shorts on. Ridge Reddick, another guy that they're excited about that can play both sides of the football.
Just again, the big bodies with these freshmen and these sophomores for the Cadets.
So 3rd and 11 coming out of the timeout. Warner Robbins will put a man in motion across the formation. Here's the snap. Dantas looking. He'll look for the throwback. They got a man set up and nobody in gray on this side of the field. And that'll be a first down into BC territory. Tackle made here on the near side. That's going to be Rasheem Jackson once again.
Yeah, that's why you take the timeout right there. Draw it up. Just again, if anything's worked tonight, it's been the screen game for him. And that time, big motion to the right, and then they come back to the running back to the left again, and that time able to pick up a first down.
And there was nobody in gray on the backside, Christian, either.
Yeah, and you know you're playing against backups right now, and so just losing contained, something you see a lot with guys who are getting their first few snaps.
High snap. Here's Dantas rolling to his right. Winds up, throws, receiver wide open. Oh, he just dropped it. That's not going to look good on the tape. Nobody within 10 yards over on that side and just dropped the football.
Yeah, and the corner on that side, I think it might be Perry. You got to understand that you have safety help over the top. And that time they run the receiver. They have a slot coming from the fade coming from the slot, and then they just run a little button hook. And both the safety and the corner ran with the fade and just left the hook wide open. Got to have the near side corner stepping up to that.
So 2nd down and 10 for Warner Robbins. They're on the Benedictine 43-yard line. Dantas will put a man in motion. And he'll take the snap. Looking, he'll throw it in the slot. Boy, the receiver never even looked. I think had some time to sit and wait, and he let that ball go, and the receiver hadn't even come out of his break yet.
Yeah, and he just kind of hit the middle of the grass. Nobody's within 10 yards of it. But, again, they're just trying to hit these backup DBs with some switch routes and just making trying to bust one and have somebody have a missed assignment.
So it'll be 3rd down and 10. And again, in the grand scheme of things, inconsequential, but you'd love for this second unit to keep the shutout intact because with 7 minutes and rolling, Warner Robbins may not get the ball back.
I was going to say, if you give the ball back to BC, that's it.
So here's the snap. They will read the belly, go straight ahead. Oh, somebody came flying up from the safety.
Jackson.
They came flying up from deep in that defense. Oh, that was Rasheem Jackson. He is bringing the lumber tonight. At that linebacker spot, it'll be 4th down, and Warner Robbins, I think, going to go for this.
Yeah, Jackson just staying away from the pile and lighting up the quarterback there on that midline.
So 4th and 8.
That's a big 4th down for these guys in the second unit.
So Dantes will put him in left to right across the formation, twins to the right. Cadets rolling some linebackers close to the line of scrimmage. Here's the snap. Looking, throws over the middle. It's caught and dropped.
There you go.
They were trying to leak a tight end out there. Wouldn't have been a first down either way as there was great coverage. I want to say that was Rasheem Jackson in there again, along with, who is that, number 31, Ibn Powell. And now BC will take over with the clock still rolling. And their second unit. Might we actually see some third unit guys here offensively?
Yeah, BC just kind of holding the offense over here. They haven't started the play clock yet.
And I know Omari hasn't gotten a lot of reps at quarterback. You'd like for him to keep doing it, but Omari has played a lot at DB as well.
Yeah, and you can't have him get hurt in snaps that don't inherently matter. So, yeah, it's going to be Thomas Brennan, a quarterback.
So, Thomas Brennan.
Hey, gunslinger and knows how to execute this offense.
Yeah, sophomore quarterback. He's trying to get everybody lined up. Checks the play clock. He'll put a man in motion. The snap comes here to the near side. And breaking back the other way is Ford. Boy, nice shiftiness in the hole. A lot of running is going to end up with a 2-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 8. But you can see just the slipperiness of a young man like that. Christian, you say, well, who's the next guy in line? He and Perry. It's like you still have the slippery. Sounds a lot like about 12 other guys who have come before here at BC.
That was a great job by number 17 for Warner Robbins, just setting the edge, but better job by Ford, broke the tackle, able to pick up a positive gain there. But again, Kevin, just watching the offense with Brennan, it's so smooth, and you don't usually get that with your third quarterback.
They'll counter back here to the near side. Oh, Ford makes a man miss and then gets wrapped up. He'll get another 3-4 yards.
Yeah. I think your right tackle that time missed an assignment because if he hits that guy who ends up tackling Ford, then Ford's still walking right now. So, I mean, that was right there. But just there's so many plays out of this flex bone that they can go to. You don't necessarily see them with the varsity because the varsity maybe spends 10, 15 snaps in that formation tonight because they have so many different packages they can go to. When you get this third team out there, they get creative with it.
3rd down and 5 out of the flex bone. Oh, Reed Brennan Thomas Brennan, I should say.
Yeah.
He stood up and he was met as soon as
this announcer's curse. That's my fault. As soon as I give him a compliment.
It was so smooth, but they snapped it, and obviously somebody had miscommunication.
I think the running backs, the two up backs, got their assignment wrong. It was supposed to go to the right, and they ran it back to the left.
Yeah, Cadets are going to punt the football. And now the question is, who's going to punt? It's normally Stephen Cannon. And they've got everybody off the field. Clock continues to roll with 4 minutes. It's going to be John Brenton to punt the football.
And they need about 4 more players out there.
Are they just trying to find bodies here? They're still short, I think.
Yep. That's 4.
They got 9.
You have 9 players on the field.
Danny Britt saying, get out there. Now you're still short 1. That's 10. And you can see Danny Britt kind of throw his hands up in the air. It's like, we're missing. Britton just fumbled the snap. He's going to be snowed under. The ball's loose, and he falls back on it. But Warner Robbins going to have their best field position of the night down around the 21, and that puts the defense in a tough spot here.
And if nothing else, you just gave Danny Britt something to talk about.
Guys, we couldn't get personnel right, and you got to be able to hold on to that snap.
Yeah, there's so many guys from that unit, that punt team unit, that just have their helmets off right now. And you're just trying, like you said, just trying to find bodies. But it was a fine snap. I think Brent just dropped it because they felt like he had to get rid of the ball quickly. So you got 23 yards, 3 minutes, and a dream.
I don't think Warner Robbins would kick a field goal down 61. Maybe they would, just to try to break this. But keep them out of the end zone here, boys.
61-3 looks a whole lot better than 61-0.
So here's Dantes in a shotgun again. BC with their second unit. Got 2 minutes and about 50 seconds to try to keep them out of the end zone, and somebody moved, so they bought themselves at least 5 more yards.
There you go.
And that'll push Warner Robbins back and probably waste another 35, 40 seconds just getting the ball set up.
I'm about to say, if you can hold for 4 or 5 more plays, and Kevin, I'm looking at the sideline right now. Everybody's in a really good mood, kind of celebrating. And then if you look at the opposite 30-yard line, Larson Little is down there, pensive staring at this game right now because he said, "Don't you give up my shutout." I mean, I don't think anybody is more locked in than 9 on the sideline right now.
Here's the snap. Dante's going to roll to his right. He's got a man in his
And
face.
Jameer.
And that's Jameer Lee going to snow him under. And a flag comes flying in from way in the back. That was Klein Peter and Jameer Lee. Jameer Lee got all of them first. Did they
Can't
get
imagine what it
face
would be.
mask against BC? How does the guy from 30 yards deep call that?
I don't, and it wasn't. If anything, I'd say maybe you can get him a horse collar, but you can't really do that inside the tackle box. So, I mean, man.
Well, the game may run out just marking this off. So half the distance penalty.
Oh, he's going to take half the distance, 15 yards.
I think maybe the PA said half the distance. It should be 15 yards, which would put it still 1st and 2. They're at the Benedictine 14-yard line. Clock continues to roll. You got to hang on for about another minute here.
Hunker down, guys.
Here's the snap. Dantes looking. He has a man throw towards the end zone. Oh, that was an interception waiting to happen.
And listen, I understand there's running clock and Warner Robbins is trying to come and execute, but if I'm them, I'm handing the football off and just saying, thank you, we're getting out of here. When you start trying to throw it into the end zone, down 61 points, that makes Benedictine want to intercept it and then throw their own passes.
Fight to the end, Christian.
I guess.
Clock rolls. Here's the snap. They'll throw it over the middle and incomplete. Boy, nice tight coverage there by the Cadets. That was number 16, Kyrie Richards, a freshman.
Roll clock.
It'll bring up 3rd down. 28 seconds.
And look, they're going fast.
Yeah, they're trying to hurry up.
They're trying to get points on the board.
Some level, I don't blame them, Christian. It's been a long night.
If there was any mercy in your heart, it's gone now.
Here's the pass. It's going to be skipped
There you
out
go.
there,
By
incomplete.
the time they reset this one.
Yep. They got to go chase the football. That's not going to happen. 61-0. Christian Goeckel over Warner Robbins. And just total domination in all aspects tonight. Christian and the Cadets improved to 2-0 on the year, and 2-0, or I should say 2-0 in region on the year, and a big win there.
Yeah, Kevin, huge win, and you just come out guns blazing in the first half, 47-0 at halftime, and then running clock still put up 2 touchdowns there in the second half, and just all phases of the game, utter domination from the Cadets. It's the best half of football we've seen them play in a long, long time, and now you set yourself up really well for this home stretch and region play. Got Wayne County next, and you finish against Perry and New Hampstead on the road. So some big games coming up, but you have set yourself up very well for that 1 seed.
Certainly have. They will have Wayne County next week right here in Memorial Stadium. The attorney Jonathan Dunn postgame show on the way. We'll chat with Danny Britt. He will join us, and we'll name our Cool Vibes Pizza player of the game. There's a whole lot of folks, Christian Goeckel, we could choose from for our player of the game. But post-game coverage coming up right around the corner, right after this on Watch BC Sports.
Criminal defense, family law, child custody, DUI, and divorce. When so much is on the line, you need expert legal representation. The one to call is Savannah's own Jonathan V. Dunn, PC, attorney at law. Voted the Thomson Reuters super lawyer consecutively since 2023 and an Avo top attorney rating of 9.7. You can count on Jonathan V. Dunn to leave no stone unturned to deliver the justice you seek. Contact 912-200-9352 or online at jvdattorney.com.
Welcome to Sandnat Golf Carts, where luxury meets quality. We offer a wide selection of top-notch custom golf carts to suit your every need. With our extensive inventory, you're sure to find the ride of your dreams. Plus, our flexible financing options make it easier than ever to drive one off the lot today. Whether you're cruising the neighborhood or joyriding with the family, Sandnat Golf Carts is here to provide exceptional service every step of the way. Visit us today to elevate your ride.
Well, the news is all good tonight. Benedictine 61-0 over Warner Robbins in just utter dominating fashion. Christian, they started off 2 plays, a sack and a fumble, and they were up 2-0, 2 plays into this ball game. Got the ball back on the ensuing kickoff, and Stephen Cannon hands it off to Stanley Smart, 33 yards. 2 minutes into the game, it's 9-0, and the route was on.
Yeah, and like you said, it just started at the line of scrimmage. They come out, pinned deep inside their own territory after a penalty, and BC able to, after, like you said, 2 plays, get the ball in the end zone as they try to swing it out. And just from then on, the tone was kind of set. They were not able to block BC up front. And for the most part, outside of 1 or 2 drives, they really weren't able to match the physicality from BC's offensive line. So I thought tonight both lines of scrimmage really won.
Certainly did. And again, came out and took care of business after an emotional big win last week over Ware County. Came right out and left, no doubt. Time for our Cool Vibes Pizza Player of the Game. Christian, number of guys you could probably hand this to tonight. Where are you going?
I'm going to say Larson Little. I thought out of everybody, I don't think he had a bad snap. He filled the right gaps from his linebacker spot. He was the only one who saw a few screens and was able to kind of recover. If not, maybe you don't have a shutout on the board right there. And then I thought just emotionally kind of led the defense tonight. You saw how into the game he was at the end, even though he hadn't really played since the beginning of the second half. So a guy who kind of the backbone of the defense right there. We talk about that front four so much, but he's back there making tackles and just doing a really, really strong job. And tonight, I don't think he had a missed assignment. So we go number 9. He's a captain for you and a big-time linebacker.
And the defense, once again, played a huge football game tonight, pitching the shutout, 61-0. Some other scores, obviously, Ware beat New Hampstead last night. Perry leading Wayne 28-0. That was about midway through the third at last update. So Perry way out in front. So if that score holds, it comes down to you and Perry right now, still holding serve in region play after just a couple of weeks. So things are in your corner, but you got to hold serve and continue to fight to host some of these playoff games.
Yeah, for as much positive momentum as you feel like you have right now, that could go sideways really fast, and all of a sudden you're in one of those tie-break scenarios where there's 3 teams sitting there with 1 loss at the end of the season, and you're trying to figure out points against, points at home, points for, and determine those tiebreakers. So just take that out of the equation. Execute these next 3 games and go ahead and get to the playoffs as the 1 seed. We saw how much of a toll it puts on you when you're consistently having to go on the road, especially when you're having to go to Atlanta every single trip like it's going to be in 4A. Make those Atlanta teams come down to Savannah at least for the first couple weeks before you start getting into those 1-to-1 matchups, and then it comes down to a coin flip. Guarantee yourself a couple of home playoff games. That's why you try to come out here and you fight so hard to win these region games.
Christian saw some good playmaking tonight out of Stephen Cannon. Really some nice in tough conditions for throwing the football.
Sure.
Not rainy, not wet, but the wind was bustling around pretty good tonight, and threw some touch balls deep that just dropped right in the breadbasket. And really, I would say, elite quarterbacking tonight from your QB1.
Yeah, we were talking to AJ DePhillips as he was coming back up at halftime. We asked him, we're like, hey, man, the second touchdown to Bubba, because you hit him 2 drives, you go flex ball under center, they have Bubba one-on-one, and you get a touchdown, 1 on an out route. The second one was on a fade route, and I thought you just see Steven kind of communicating. And those guys, I mean, how many times in practice do you think they've just run a go route and Steven's lofted it up to Bubba Frasier? But the fact that he's able to recognize the coverage, see he's got no safety help over the top, communicate that check to Bubba, and then execute on the play, it shows you the kind of level that he's at right now. So there's a lot of talented guys on this team, but you need Stephen Cannon to be kind of that leader and that catalyst, not just offensively, but just overall for the team. If he comes out there with an attitude, and we saw it with the legs, showed off some speed, if he comes out there with just that killer instinct, this is going to be a really tough team to deal with.
Certainly will, and they've got some playmakers who are starting to come into their own. We talked a lot in the early games. Who's going to be the next guy? And you say the next guy that fills that We need a guy to get open. Everybody's looking at 4 to get the ball. Last week, it was Aaron Mallard, Josh Washington. This week, got his number called and made some things happen. So we've seen some of those guys emerge and make plays.
Yeah, and again, it's always cool to see. It seems like it goes back and forth. You have Bubba Frasier just dominate against Westminster. Then Ware County says, hey, we're going to do everything we can to take you away. And then you have Aaron Mallard and Josh Washington pop off. Warner Robbins just kind of went one-on-one with everybody, and they tried to spread it out across the field. Cool. Bubba Frasier one-on-one. That's usually a recipe for success for BC. So you have so many different ways to win. Kind of a quiet night for Stanley Smart tonight. He busts a long touchdown run, but for the most part, you were able to get it done through the air tonight just with the way Warner Robbins was approaching it and a bunch of short field shots and stuff like that. But I think, again, you look at this offense as a whole, the offensive line has started to come together. Stephen Cannon has time to sit back there and scan a little bit and deliver some passes, but he's also adding in that layer with his legs now too, which has been so big. So many different ways to beat you. And again, you have an offensive coordinator who's been doing this for a long time with this team now. It's a program. These players are growing up in this. So A.J. DePhillips has the ability to get to different stuff if he needs to. He's not really limited. If you're going to go one-on-one coverage, he's like, cool, how do I get the look with Bubba one-on-one away from a safety and take that shot? I'm going to go flex bone and spread him out. And it's really cool to see because not many high schools have the ability to do that.
And again, great night tonight for Ware County. We're awaiting Coach Danny Britt to join us up here for the post-game conversation as he does each and every week. And again, a Cadets victory on homecoming, and they were in fine form tonight, rounding into shape. This is the Attorney Jonathan Dunn post-game show here on Watch BC Sports.
The honor, the heritage, the tradition of excellence. The home for Benedictine Cadets football is WatchBCSports.com. All the games, play-by-play, and in-depth analysis. Home of the Danny Britt Show. Be a part of the action as your Benedictine Cadets take the field in their quest for yet another championship. On the official home of the Cadets, WatchBCSports.com. And look for us on Facebook and Instagram at WatchBC Sports.
Plan your hunting getaway and escape to experience the beauty of Mossy Pond. Our diverse property right here in Pierce County allows you to enjoy various types of hunts, including plantation-style quail, hog, pheasant, and flooded timber-style duck hunts, all within 24 hours. At the center of it all, experience scenic, rustic, beautiful, and inviting amenities like luxury lodging, our first-class pro shop, fine dining, and the perfect event space. Book now and see why Mossy Pond Lodge is Georgia's premier hunting paradise.
Welcome back here to the Attorney Jonathan Dunn post-game show. Kevin Thomas, Christian Goeckel here. Next week, it's Wayne County, who was getting handled pretty good by Perry, a game that obviously BC, you should be heavily favored. Maybe a repeat performance of what you saw tonight, but a team obviously that's going through transition, new head coach. We see it at all levels, Christian. You see Virginia Tech fired their coach next week. They come out and get a big win over NC State. Wayne County made a change. The next week they come out and they upset this Warner Robbins team who, even as you would say, outmatched as they were tonight, you thought probably still good enough to beat Wayne with the way they were struggling. Wayne comes out and gets a big victory. So not a team you just take for granted, but a team that you would look at and tell the guys in practice this week, this is a TCB game. Take care of business.
Oh, yeah.
And move on. Don't look past anybody. Go out and repeat of what you just did tonight.
Yeah, you think back to last year playing Wayne and Jessup. That was the first road start there for Mari Burst, and you kind of see him come on after Stephen Cannon's injury, and BC eventually started to pull away and roll in that one. And Wayne, again, a team that's separated from their head coach. They had the really, really special win against Warner Robbins, but kind of coming back to reality this week against Perry. For BC, it's do you have the ability to manage the high where you win 61-0? You know you're playing a team that you should beat by this much. Can you not just come out on Friday, but Monday through Thursday, execute at a high level in practice, and then come out there against a really, again, a team you should beat by a good amount in Wayne? Do you have the ability to do that? Because really good teams do, right? Really good teams come out, execute, blow you out in the first half, and then put in the backups in the second half. do you have the ability mentally to stay locked in like that? Because you have to keep playing at that level, because those last couple of weeks when you go up against a Perry and a New Hampstead, that's going to decide your future in the region.
Certainly. And again, Perry was up big tonight in this ball game. And again, when we go to Perry in a couple of weeks here, that could very much be a game that could decide a region championship. Now, Perry and Ware still have to play, and that's certainly going to be a knockdown drag out as well. So not all hinges on that game, but as things progress, if you win next week and then beat Perry, you should be in line to win the region championship, as you would have the tiebreaker over everybody but New Hampstead, who again is already 0-2 in the region. So they would have to win out in order to overtake you and beat you head to head. So that's just kind of the way the scenarios lay out right now for BC.
Yeah, and just looking ahead to next week, senior night is going to be your final home game of the regular season when Wayne comes to town, and a group of guys who were freshmen back in 2022 when you won that state championship with a stand up there at Center Park Stadium, and just the history that those guys have been through, won a whole bunch of football games, and they're looking to take that step and kind of bookend their careers with state titles. That starts in region play, and it's going to continue next week against Wayne. And what an amazing crowd we had out here tonight. You need that again next week, because that's your last guaranteed home game for the season. Again, this team is playing at an unprecedented level. I mean, a few years ago where you say, hey, this is the region you're going to be in, if we said 47-0 at the half, I don't think anybody would have believed you. So right now, this team is out here executing. They're the best show in Savannah. Sorry, Savannah Bananas. But, I mean, if you're looking for explosive fireworks, come out here and watch this BC Cadets team, and you get another chance to see them here in Memorial Stadium next week against Wayne. So you feel like you should win it. Still encourage everybody to kind of have a crowd like tonight where it's just absolutely packed out.
Absolutely. And Coach Britt has made his way up here high atop Memorial Stadium, as we'll give him a half a second to catch his breath and join us here. And Coach, 61-0, a lot of good going to be in the film watching when it comes around. But talk about tonight. You got up 9-0 within the first couple of minutes of the ball game.
Yeah, definitely. I'm proud of the guys doing what they should have done. One of Robbins has had some major injuries, and so there were some spots that we knew going to be questionable. So the guys did a really good job, because you can know that and come out and play poorly, and we didn't do that. So I'm proud of how we came out.
Yeah, especially coming off a big win last week, where you were the highest of highs going to Waycross and getting a big Ware County win. But offensively tonight, looked crisp. A couple of big runs. Stanley and Josh Washington, I think, had one, and Steven looked really good throwing a football.
Yeah, he did. And I think they had set up to stop certain plays, which we talk about. People have to do. You have to say, okay, what are we going to stop? And they were able to get us a couple of times there, but there were ways that we could just do it. And I thought Steven threw the ball well. I thought, the guys ran hard, blocked well. It looked good offensively. I thought it looked smooth, which is what we always want it to look like, very fluid.
And, Coach, tonight Steven had a couple of plays where you really got to see the type of ball player he was. The wind was howling at times tonight. He throws one up to Bubba in the wind, drops it right in the basket, had one where he kind of scrambled to the right, and you saw him turn on the jets. He's like, whoa, there's the speed. Right. And then had a pump fake move where he got a defender in the air, was pump faking to nobody, got under it, and ended up getting a first down, and really had three good plays, just those instances of showing off his athleticism.
So I think that's what he's got to do. I mean, that's what he's going to need to do. I think that's what he plays better doing. That's who he is. He's an athlete. So, we're kind of cutting him loose to do that a little bit. Just get out there and have fun and play football, and I think he plays better that way.
Defensively, you get a shutout, which anytime you can do that, especially pull as much young guys as you played tonight, is good. But once again, the front seven, I mean, your whole defense has played great, but there's guys obliterating the line of scrimmage can allow you to make so many plays.
Yeah, there wasn't so much that those poor guys could do, because we were just – and again, he has had some major injuries on this offensive line. And, so we knew we just wanted to attack, and the guys did up front and really made it difficult.
Special teams, heard you talk about the kickoff coverage guy this week, wanting to make some changes the way you covered and covered things. No big, really long returns tonight in the kick game, and you guys kicked the ball off well, even, again, given crosswinds and things like that y'all were dealing with tonight.
Yeah, that's what we did. We tried to do a couple of different things. with those kickers. The thing is just not so much you can do. I mean, I'd love to kick it in the end zone all the time, and but we're trying to work on doing some different things, but I thought we covered really well, and we adjusted with that. A little bit personnel there we adjusted with, and we covered really well, and hopefully we can keep getting better at that.
Big homecoming crowd tonight. So many alumni here at the ball game and recognized the 2014 team. So I don't know how much time you got to spend with them maybe after the game if they came up and talked to you, but
right.
Your first championship here at BC, and hard to believe that's been 11 years ago.
I know it is really hard to believe, and I saw several of them at least at halftime and got to speak to them. But yeah, it is crazy. They're all now grown with kids and jobs and everything else. So it's amazing. That was a special group. Always be very special to me.
And Coach, as the head coach of the program, do you think back to that group as kind of the one that started off? We talked with Joseph Holguin at halftime. He said to look at that group and what we had to put into work to win, and seeing what you guys have turned it into now, he goes, I don't know if that 2014 team could beat this team you guys are running out there, just with how many athletes and kind of where the program has escalated to.
It's definitely, I mean, that's been what we're trying to do is, I decided a number of years ago we wanted to take it to a national level and start playing at a whole nother level. And, and I think we've done that. And that's how we're bringing in the Bufords and going and playing Colquitt counties and going to Miami and playing Columbus and, winning 4A state championships. That's what we wanted to do.
Coach, congratulations. Wayne County next week, senior night, just 3 home games in the regular season. So a chance to regroup and come back and try to take care of business against a Wayne County team next week.
Yeah, actually 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
We got a bye week.
Another bye week. We got so many bye weeks.
Actually, I'm enjoying it. I'm going to enjoy it. I think the kids were excited because, but we're feeling really good right now and are healthy. So excited to next week. We're going to have a freshman game against Glenn at BC Thursday. And that'll end all the sub-varsity games. And then we'll come back, getting ready for Wayne. And, thank God, get to play another home game here.
Absolutely, Coach. Appreciate the time. Thanks so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Danny Britt joining us here as he does after each game on the Attorney Jonathan Dunn post-game show. As, again, a lot of positives tonight coming out of this ball game. Christian Goeckel and a lot of young guys got to play again, so we will not be here next week. I apologize. Off week.
Yes.
There's so many off weeks.
There's a lot of bye weeks.
There's so many off weeks. I'm like, surely we're not playing just a couple of games and then off again. But here we go. So off week next week. Then we're back the next week against Wayne County for senior night and home game number 3. And as we were talked about, if you take care of some business, should be some more home games coming up down the road.
And then again, finishing the season at Perry at New Hampstead. So chance to regroup this coming bye week, figure out the things you're doing really well. And again, we talked about it. Can you maintain this momentum? Because BC is rolling right now.
Certainly. That's going to do it for us. 61-0 Cadets way out there on the scoreboard tonight. For Christian Goeckel, I'm Kevin Thomas. Oh, don't forget, next Thursday, even though it's a bye week, Christian Goeckel, Bowtie Barbecue for the Danny Britt Show. And they will break down this one and certainly look ahead to the off week and looking at some of the freshmen that are going to get to play. A lot of freshmen and sophomores got to play tonight, Christian, and getting some of those valuable varsity reps. So make your lunch plans Thursday, high noon, Bowtie Barbecue for the Danny Britt Show. That'll do it for us. We'll see you next time here on Watch BC Sports.